Welcome, 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 welcome. This is Keeping It 100. I am Andre Jaho, and we are here with an esteemed panel on tonight. All right, we have first up Lydia Banks. Say hey.
Hi.
Then we have Christina, and we have Kenya, and
Hey,
then we have
girl.
Ryan Jones. What's up, man?
I'm not esteemed. I just have nothing else to do.
You are esteemed. How dare
So
you?
what up?
Did
It's like the
everybody?
Brady Bunch. I'm like looking all around at all y'all. Y'all good? All right.
So for those that are following Black News Undisputed, we're sorry that we don't color people time again tonight. You know, it happens sometimes. We said 9 o'clock, it's 9:30, but hey, we didn't start at 10, so you guys will get to bed before midnight tonight, all right? All right, so we're
Right.
gonna give people 60 seconds to come on in here, and then we are gonna cue our intro, and then we're gonna get started. 60 seconds. Did y'all share it yet?
Okay, I've been sharing.
Okay, no problem. No problem. That's good. Let me share mines too. All right,
yeah.
we're gonna put on some music and we're gonna chill out tonight. Boom. I'm gonna share mines now.
I'll keep drinking.
Slow down.
What you drinking, man?
Johnny and Coke.
Okay.
Love me my Johnny Walker.
I'm sharing my link on WhatsApp to different people.
Oh, you said slow down?
No, I said I'm sharing
you.
my. Oh,
Man, I know what you said. I'm talking to the one up there. You said slow down?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I ain't going nowhere. I'm good.
everybody that's watching, please leave a comment and let us know that you are watching Keeping It 100. Let us know that you're watching. All right, guys.
Everyone who's keeping 100.
Yes,
Comment.
yes.
Yes, keep it 100.
All right, we're about to get started. Here's the
Yeah.
intro.
Hey, guys. How everyone doing this evening? So today on Keeping It 100, I want to talk about love. And in this topic, I want to talk about how can we let go of the past? How can we let go of the past and move on by, practicing forgiveness? Like, how can we go into another relationship holding on to the past, basically? What is everyone's thoughts on that?
Ooh, who want to go first?
Ladies first for me.
Y'all go first. Y'all, I'm gonna let y'all start that one.
You want me to go?
Y'all two, go ahead.
I mean, you can go first. Okay. Well, for me, in order for me to move on, since we keeping it 100 tonight, okay?
Yes. Keeping it 100.
Right now, in the process of forgiveness, for me, it has to be given to God. Like it's just no other way, because I have a trouble forgiving and being able to, like, sometimes I hold grudges. Like, that's just like, I hold grudges and I just don't want nothing to do with you. But I'm learning as I get older that that's not okay. You have to forgive that person in order to move on, in order to have a healthy relationship with your next encounter, with your next partner. You have to give that over to God. Like, I even have to practice forgiveness now. Funny that we're talking about forgiveness, because I had a little session with myself and God today, and I had to write down some things that I've been holding in, and I wrote it on a piece of paper. And while I was writing it on that piece of paper, I folded it up, I prayed over it, and I burned it. And it was actually very relieving. I know it sounds like, to people, maybe like what are you talking about? But it really helped me, and it's just another step towards me being able to move on. Those are my words.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like forgiveness is a lot to deal with, you know, whether it's towards another person or for yourself, because you have to grow.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a huge thing that you gotta be able to let go and forgive. And I know a lot of people go, well, I'm not gonna forget what that person did. Okay, you don't have to forget. You can use that as motivation, as this is the standard that I'm setting in between my new relationship, and this is the standard that I have for myself. So I'm not gonna forget those circumstances that I've been in, but I'm still gonna forgive what happened between me and that other person, just so I can move on and then let God be ahead of my life. You know? Because if you don't let those things go, you're gonna stay stuck in that situation. You're gonna always keep blaming the next person for what the past did or what have you, or you're just not gonna be able to live your life fully in love with someone else.
Say the last part again. I think
Right.
Say that last part again.
I said, you know, you're not going to be able to move on fully to love someone else. You know, if you don't forgive, you gotta really look at yourself and be like, you know what? I don't want to be this person anymore. I allowed certain things in my life and I don't want to continue that. So let me forgive myself and not look back. Let me keep progressing forward. You know, and regardless of what that person did, look, I forgive you, but you're just not allowed in my space anymore.
Right.
You know, you gotta not have that person be allowed into that energy of your space anymore. Like, you just gotta put the gate over it. Like, okay, we've been there, we've done that. Let me move on.
I agree.
You can actually forgive somebody and not even really have to tell them that you actually forgive that person.
Yeah.
You just move
them. Love them from a distance.
Right.
Love them from a distance.
Can you actually still be friends with that person afterwards? Like, what's your thoughts on that too? Like,
it depends.
If you forgive that person, like, say whatever the case is, you forgive that person. Like, can you see yourself still later on down the line being friends with that person while you're in another relationship or whatever the case?
It's a process though. You got to work your way up to that, because when a person has done things for you to feel like you don't have no forgiveness for that person, you got to heal first in order to build on a friendship.
And that's what I was going to play on that. That's what I was saying. For me, I would have to really like forgive myself, as far as like, because I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did to that person or how they feel about me. Like, if I hurt them or if I was hurt, like, I don't know what was going on. But as far as like forgiving myself first and then being humble enough to go to that person and be like, you know what, I'm sorry. You know, I shouldn't have done this or did this. Oh, we could, you know, forgive me and we could be friends one day. Like, I really have to be able to humble myself. I have done it. I'm not like afraid to admit that. Like, I know I have hurt people in the past or in other relationships where I could have done better because they were good people.
Yeah, look, we all have. No, everybody has done something. Whether it was major or small, everybody has done something to either hurt somebody or just disturb somebody or whatever. It's just that's between you and the last person. But definitely forgiving somebody to move on to because if you don't, you're just gonna bring that negative energy from the past relationship to the new one. And you don't want to do, because that person, the new person you're with, doesn't deserve that. They don't deserve the, you know, like, you can tell them this person hurt me. If they say, well, you know, I'm not going to do that to you, you know, this is a new relationship, something fresh. And then, you know, the tiniest little things that they do sparks you that clearly you haven't, you're still holding on to the past. And that's not fair to the next person.
It's not.
Like,
I definitely agree. It's not.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All you doing is just bringing more baggage. Like you keep hopping. It's people that keep hopping from relationship to relationship, and they just holding more baggage, collecting more baggage.
Come on now.
It just damaging people along the way.
Right. It's a
After a while, even the airline don't want you bringing on a plane. Yeah.
Right.
You can't keep doing that. You're bringing too much baggage. That's enough now.
Yeah.
Like rebounding. I got this bag, and then don't forget this one and this one, and you just keep piling it on top and top.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself alone for a long time because there's gonna be people because people do talk. You know, they say you don't want to deal with her. She has a lot of baggage, bro. And next thing you know, you'll be alone. So before you even move on to a serious relationship, make sure you get all of that out, the forgiveness, and even if you talk it out, whatever you have to do, you got to get rid of that. That has to go, and do not bring that to the next one. I hear that. I got distracted because he zoomed in my face and my head is already.
Producing over here. Start. Come on. Focus.
my head is too big for all that, and you just it's like 3D. I had to like jump back for a second. What did you say up there? What was that?
So you threw me off, man. You threw me off.
I know. One thing.
Also, I said you could play on that because also I feel like when people are looking for love, because they want to be loved and they have so much love to give and they want that treatment, they will accept anything from anyone because they have not forgiven themselves or something from the past because a past relationship made them feel unwanted. So it's like harder for, they bring that on to the next relationship and want to feel wanted, and you deal with those insecurities and everything. So I feel like it always starts with self first though.
Right.
Like you gotta evaluate yourself first.
That's true. I agree. I definitely.
One thing I definitely noticed so far is that somebody else in this room hasn't spoken yet.
Right.
Me too.
Wait on your opinion, Dre.
Right.
Look, ain't nobody over there. What you got to say?
I'm producing, man.
Hey, you shouldn't even be in here. Go on, say something.
Right.
All right, well, I'll say this, right? I feel like forgiveness, yes, you got to forgive people because when you don't forgive somebody, that's like you drinking poison and expecting them to die. I'm drinking poison and expecting them to die. Just forgive them. You don't have to forget what they did. You know what I'm saying? They could have been abusive to you. They could have been, verbally abusive, physically abusive, sexually abusive to you. You can forgive them. Even going deeper outside of a relationship, if a woman is raped by a stranger, you know what I'm saying, she can forgive that person just to clear her heart and clear her mind of all of that stress, but she doesn't have to forget. It's not like she's gonna, let's say her cousin abused her. She can forgive him, but it doesn't mean he's invited to her children's baby christening,
Exactly right.
You gotta let people go sometimes. I forgive you because I want my soul to be right. I want my heart to be right. I forgive you, but that's it. I don't want to see you. Like, I forgive you. I'm not gonna go talking about you. I'm not gonna wish hatred on you. But you're not invited to my house. You're not invited to my kids to be a part of my kids because, hey, if you hurt me, you might try to hurt one of my girls or something. I don't know, one of my kids. You don't have to. And forgiveness and trust is two different things too. Sometimes we get it twisted.
That is.
I'm saying I forgive you, but I still don't trust you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then when you break up with somebody, you have to remember why you broke up. You don't want to get back into that relationship saying, well, maybe they've changed. Let me give them a chance. No, I broke up with you because you did this, you did that. And even though I forgive you for doing it, I'm not going to forget what you did.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've done that.
Yeah.
I tried to be friends with somebody in the past, even sparked it up, and it was like going right back into the same. I'm like, wait, I'm not even dating you. I'm just seeing how you doing, and all of a sudden we're having an argument. Like, no, okay, this is why we stopped talking years ago. Okay, so no, I'm good. You go ahead and live your life. This was clearly a mistake. But it was a sense of I forgive him. I have. And then it's like years down the road, I wonder how so and so's doing. So I just hit them
Lydia,
up. How you been? And then, come on. So
if people want to know, we engaging with the audience tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Like,
Sean.
Let's see what the comments have to say. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yes. Let's see.
First of all, Sean,
Hello, Sean.
what's up, Sean? How are you?
Sean.
Lady Sherelle Ferrer, how are you? How are you?
Hey.
Sean has to say, just curious, are you guys corresponding? Oh, yeah, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Sean,
Yes,
what are
we
your
are. Yes, we
thoughts,
are.
Sean?
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Sean? Let us know.
Yes,
Let us know. Woo, forgiveness is a struggle for many.
Amen.
Yes, it is. Robert Ferrer, Pastor Robert Ferrer, amen.
Amen.
And it's easy to forgive, but sometimes hard to forget.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's true.
And then Lady Sherelle Ferrer says, hello, everyone.
Hey.
Yes, please, guys, in the audience, give us feedback. Let us know what you think. Let us know about your concerns about forgiveness. Talk to us. We will definitely read your comments on the air.
Yes, we want to hear what you guys have to say. Speak back to
And
us.
Sean says, awesome sauce.
Yes.
that must have been for what Dre said. Dre dropped some knowledge a few seconds ago. Like, whoa, what was that?
I'm producing. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Hey, whatever you said though, it was like, oh, okay, I hear you.
Okay.
Where was this when we was in high school? You didn't speak like this.
Sometimes you live
wrong
with
just
things.
now. I was like,
Sometimes you have to live and learn, man. I was immature in high school, but I'm a grown man now, so we got to do grown man things.
I hear you. So can I get my money?
Listen, this is the time or the place for that, all right? This is not the time or the place for that.
I want my money. All right.
All right, so Pastor Robert, oh, hold on, let me not skip. So Sean says, well, I agree with you guys. Have to say so far. Okay. Pastor Robert says forgiving can be painful because it makes individuals feel vulnerable, but is necessary. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Sometimes-
That's some real stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like for me, I feel like sometimes people, they don't want to forgive. Yeah, it makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel, sometimes it's a pride thing too. Like, I'm not forgiving you. You hurt me too bad. I'm not forgiving you. It's like, I don't care. Some people just have that attitude. Like, I do not care. I'm not forgiving you. You hurt me too bad. I don't want nothing to do with you. If you were on fire, I wouldn't even spit on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Some
And
people have that.
It's like two different
And I
types
have
of
said
growth,
that.
right?
Ooh, that's a growing process. I have said that in the past. Like, I was so angry. No, for real. I'm so serious. I was so angry how this person, I don't like when people that, you authentic with them and be real with them, and then they become friends with you just to stab you in your back. That right there, like, no for me. So I know I'm growing because I have to let that go.
Exactly. So
what's the one thing about love that scares you? The one thing about love that scares me is the fact, because I am a lovable person, is not receiving the same love that I'm giving to that person. I want
you hit it on the nail.
I want someone to love me as much as I love them. I want a ping pong effect.
Yes.
I want the energy to be reciprocated. Like, if I'm putting out, I want you to, like, I want to receive it back.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't do that. Like, nowadays, because we think on a 3-dimensional is always take. I don't want that anymore. I want that ping pong effect.
Right.
I want that ping pong effect with somebody.
Exactly. Anybody else want to answer that question? What's one thing about love that scares you?
I fully agree with that statement. I feel that everybody wants that, like, but it's a process to get to that as well. Like, I think people don't understand that it takes hard work and effort to get to that point.
Yes.
You have to be an open book. You have to express yourself. You have to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the most thing that people struggle with, is being an open book. towards someone else because they don't want to be too vulnerable. They don't want to seem weak.
Right.
You know, if something do go wrong.
And I feel like that's especially with men. I hate to say it.
Yes.
Yes.
It is so hard for men to be vulnerable, to let their guard down. It's like, to me, in 2020, like, I'm gonna say maybe the last 5 years. I'm gonna go 5 years. Let's give it 5 years.
But let's get the men's perspective.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, there's 2 men in here. Can we speak on behalf of ourselves?
Yeah, come on.
Well, can I finish my
I
sentence?
mean, Jesus.
I thought it was keeping it real with Lydia Banks, keeping it 100 with Lydia Banks. And
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr.
no,
Jackson.
Do I need to cue the intro again?
The Jackson 5 over here. we just hit the back.
I'm joking. No, but I'm just saying, like, from experience, I feel like men are harder to break down. It's like women have to peel layers at a time with men.
Yeah.
Like, we always had, like, women, we always have to show, but it's easy for women to show because we are nurturing creatures. We automatically, you know, are loving. If you marry a woman and you give that woman a house, she's gonna make it a home. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like the structure, and I feel like men, I think men forget that, like, if we supposed to follow, how do we know to take the lead if y'all not showing us? If y'all really want us to be that person, that wife, how am I supposed to follow accordingly?
I agree.
I'm just saying.
Times 2.
The comments, what the comments got to say?
Exactly. So Pastor Robert also says many say forgiving opens doors for people to abuse and manipulate. Yeah, it does, because if you keep forgiving somebody and they keep doing the same thing over and over, and you keep forgiving them, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing it because they're just gonna forgive me.
Some people look at that. Some people call that a sign. They start looking at, like, well, this person's weak. You know, they always want to. They're always forgiving. They keep taking that, whatever it is the person's dishing out. They keep taking it, so it looks like they're weak. So that's forgiving can be hard. You just gotta know when. You gotta know.
Hard, but at the same time, you can let go.
Right.
Like, forgiving that person, you need to know when it's a sign of abuse. Like, if I keep telling you, like, I forgive you, you're still doing the same thing, I think, like, okay, it's time to let go.
Yeah.
Like, it's time now, and now it's time to close that door.
Yeah.
Close the door, change the locks, and take the key. Hello.
Okay.
Exactly. And then sometimes,
right.
and sometimes it's our fault because, you know what I'm saying, if I give you my car and you keep getting, this is an example, I give you my car to drive, you keep getting parking tickets, and I just say, okay, it's all right. You say, I'm gonna pay it, or I'm sorry, but I give it to you again, you keep getting tickets. Sometimes you gotta know when to say, okay, enough is enough. You know? So
because a person only person's only gonna do what you allow them to do at the end of the day.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sean says, I just think forgiveness should be a wholehearted thing. Many forgive to receive the wrong things, such as accolades from others. That means you don't really forgive. So yeah, sometimes people will say, I forgive you, just because they think they're going to get a kudos or something. They think it's going to make them look better, but they really don't forgive. They're just saying it as a form of show because they think other people will look good on, it'll look good on them to say, I forgive you, when they're really probably still talking about you behind your back.
Right.
They've forgiven you, but they really haven't forgiven you. It's just
they're just saying it. They're just saying it to say it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you really forgive somebody, it'll show. It'll really show. Like, I really forgive you. It's dead. Whatever. We can talk. We can be cordial. Just like I brought up earlier. Like I said, I hit up somebody from the past just to see how she was doing, and out of nowhere, here comes an argument. Like, what the hell? What are we arguing about? Like, I knew I should hit you up. I knew I should hit you.
It's 80? Addie? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm Addie.
Addie? Thank you, Addie.
No, seriously, I agree though.
And should lead. I'm serious. Exactly, Sean. Thank you, Sean.
Yes.
And also, here's another one. The man has to be mature enough to realize how much of a blessing the woman is to him. It takes maturity. We were
Okay.
just talking about that earlier, being mature.
Thank
Okay.
you, Robert. We were talking about that earlier.
Right.
Okay, I got a question though. This is for the guys. What if it's
Oh,
the
hell.
opposite way around? When you have to deal with a female that you have to kind of deal with different layers of her going through her past and forgiving.
Like, how do you show her that you are the man that really wants to be with her? Like, how would
Right.
you take and
Right.
be
How are you
with
able
her?
to take
Like,
that
how
lead?
would you show her, Brian, Andre?
Why
You
my
can go
name
first.
said first?
All right, you want
That's
me to go
what's
first?
alphabetical. You first.
All right.
I like this Brady Bunch thing. I enjoy this. Just looking around.
All right. So basically, if it's the woman, and basically, if this is like the woman of my dreams, okay, the woman that I dream about every day, whatever, and let's say she has a problem, okay, let's say she's a drug addict, and we've seen plenty of movies, like Diary of a Mac Black Woman,
Wait,
No,
wait,
let's
Jay,
go deeper.
Jay,
Let's not even say-
Jay,
let's
before
not
you
say
before you
drugs.
continue, zoom out.
Let's not
I
even
wanna
say
I wanna see
drugs.
everybody's face. I want to see everybody as you talk.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, this is the woman of your dreams. Okay, the woman of my dreams, the woman I think about every single day. I've dreamed about this person. I finally meet her, but when I finally meet her, I realize that she is a drug addict, or she smokes. Like, I don't smoke at all. I've dated a girl that smoked, and when I kissed her, it was like disgusting. But if it's the girl of I'm just saying, if it's the girl of my dreams,
Was it
and they
cigarettes or weed?
cigarettes,
There's a little difference sometimes, a little.
I wouldn't know. So, but okay.
A little Mary Jane ain't hurt nobody.
Getting on
I
topic.
can't
Hey,
remember.
wait, let's get back. Yeah, let's get back.
but okay, so the person of my dreams, whatever the case is, if they keep doing stuff that I don't agree with, of course I'm gonna keep talking to them. Communication, I feel, is key. You keep communicating. If you feel like they're trying to do better, like if they're on drugs, you say let's go to rehab. They go to rehab. If they're like a compulsive, they lie, or if they cheat. Like, you have some women. This is real stuff now. You have some women that are nymphomaniacs. If you don't know what that means, audience, a nymphomaniac is someone that has to have sex all the time. So
Where's she
you have women
Where's she
you have women that deal with that kind of stuff.
I'm done.
I told you I've been drinking. I mean, where
You
is this
have-
person? I have yet to meet this person. What's going on?
Well, it happens. So you have that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if I really love you that much, I'm gonna stick with you. Let's say you marry the person, and then they're on some stuff. Yes, the marriage says for better or for worse till death do us part. You make the vows. You don't get married to get a divorce. But if if you really want to try it, now there's certain times when you just have to split. But if I really, really want to be with you so bad, then yeah, I'm gonna try to stick it out as long as I can until I feel like if it's hurting me so bad to stay with you, you know what I'm saying? I have to love myself more than I love you.
Exactly. Right.
So that's my
Say that last
my
part
thought
again.
on it.
Say that last part again.
I have to love myself
Uh-huh.
more than I love you, because I can't love you or anybody else around me if I'm hurting so bad. I can't.
Right.
So
That's
It's
so true.
impossible.
fails.
Yes.
You've been reading books, haven't you? I don't know who you are. This is a completely different Andre. I don't even know who this guy is. We have
2020.
conversations on the phone. You don't
That
speak
is
nothing like this.
Great thing.
I'm out. I'm
Brian.
kind of loving it. I'm kind of loving it right now.
Your turn.
Brian,
Your turn.
So get that off. Get that off. All right? That's too much now.
okay, whatever.
I want some of the people at home are watching on their
What do
phone.
people say?
Oh, and after this we have another question. So I don't want to skip over Lady Cheryl's question, but let's see. Sean says, Also, you can't always forgive a person. Um, I'm sorry. Oh, whereas they know or get to hear you forgive them. I'm sorry. This is really small. The
And
disposition
just
may not.
may not be accepting of it. You might have to just give it to God and leave it there. Amen.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen,
Exactly.
Sean.
Mhm.
Exactly. And then oh, Addy says, "Wow, Andre, that was deep."
Yes.
I'm just we having a
I was about
conversation,
to say, you must have been reading some books.
and then Sean says, "That's 100%, brother Andre Jaho. Self love. Yes, yes, self love." So you have something to say, Bryant, before we get to the
I
next?
mean, I can't even go that deep. I can't even follow that.
They gonna follow. Just
Like
tell
your
your
opinion,
opinion.
Brian. We want to know your opinion. This is a discussion between everybody.
I mean, my opinion be like, yeah, hush, shut up. What do you think? What are you talking about? You don't even know. But wait, I'm sorry. What was the question again? Ask me the question. What was? Don't laugh at me. Okay. One more time.
All right, before you do that,
Okay,
Pastor Robert said, if you're damaged emotionally, you are no good to anyone. Self love is not selfish.
Selfish.
Exactly.
Yes. Self love
Exactly,
is not
exactly.
selfish. I like
It's
that,
not.
Robert.
It's not. Exactly.
Love yourself.
Awesome.
You're able to give more. Exactly.
Exactly. All right. So
You know,
go ahead, Bryant.
I think I came to that point a while ago, like before I met my wife. Like I was single, already forgiving everybody, doing my own thing, you know, and my wife at the time. First, the only reason why I'm married is because she would never even talk to me. If you want to be true, the woman would not speak to me at work. If I saw her at work, she would not speak to me. I would say hello, she would keep walking. So I literally made, I don't know why, like I made it a mission every day to just speak to her. You know what? I'm gonna speak to you every single day. And if I got a hello, I would literally go play lotto. I won $2. It took me a while. I only won $2, but I would go out every day. I said, I'm gonna say hello. One of these days, you're gonna give me a hello. And then I knew she was dating somebody at the time. That wasn't my business. It wasn't about that. I just wanted a hello. But then I could tell one day we talk about being damaged. It looked like just this one particular day, she was just damaged. I don't know what was going on with her. I cornered her like in the corner. She was sitting by herself, and I basically ambushed her and made her talk to me in a corner. Like she's tiny, okay, and I'm slightly tall, so I stood over her, and you know she couldn't run. It was like, so what's wrong with you? You know, I'm looking down at her, and she was probably afraid, but we became friends right there. You know, so whatever she was going through, I assume as just being friends with me over time, she was able to forgive that person. We started hanging out more and more and more, and now we're here where we are. So you know that's I kind of just got her to open up to me. That was my way of wanting. After a while, I mean, I kind of did want to be with her, so I had to show her. I don't care what happened in the past. I got her to open up to me. I just showed her me. This is me. I want to be with you.
Wait. I don't want to cut you off. You did what? I need people to understand what you did. You did what?
I got her to open up to me. I showed her me.
He put action behind the words. Okay.
Yeah. And in the beginning, and trust me, working at that job, it was like high school. The minute you talk to a female, it's like, oh, they doing something nasty. I didn't care what people thought. I wanted to talk. All I wanted was a hello. If she would have said hello in the beginning, none of this would have happened. Like, so you made me chase you just for a hello, and now I corner you in a corner because you broken, past relationship, whatever happened. I wasn't coming in there to be no hero. I just wanted a conversation. And then as time went on, we got closer, and I got her to open up to me. I opened up to her, and I was like, okay, maybe this can actually become something. So I showed her myself, got her to open up to me, and now we're here. and that's called marriage now. I'm miserable. Can somebody help me, please? Nobody's gonna help me. I'm married with children over here. Can somebody? She's not watching, is she?
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So, we have a question from Sherelle Ferrer that she put up earlier. Does anybody believe in love at first sight?
Ooh.
Well, I'll answer
think
first.
it exists. I think it exists.
I'm going to
Go
answer.
ahead, Dre. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Love at first sight. I do. I believe I love at first sight. I believe that you can look at someone and just know that that person belongs in your life. And it doesn't even have to be like a romantic relationship either. It could even be a friendship. You could meet someone for the first time. I know people that have met as just friends, like two women might meet somehow they start talking and then they're just like, wow, this is my friend. And then they exchange numbers and then they're inseparable. So I do believe love at first sight. I have a friend of mine that I met over 20 years ago, and I loved her ever since, and I still love her, and she is my good friend, and she's still
You
my
better
friend.
not be talking about my sister because I will kill you.
I'm not talking about your sister.
You better not be talking about my sister.
I'm not talking about your sister. But basically what I'm saying is I believe that you can meet even a good friend, and just love them genuinely. So I've experienced that, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that's real.
Yeah.
I think love at first sight exists. Have I experienced that necessarily? I don't think I've experienced that me personally myself. I can only say for me, I might have noticed this person, you know, like I might have noticed something about you and it kind of stuck. You know, that doesn't mean I loved you when I first saw you. It's just like, okay, let me use my wife for an example, because that's where I'm at now. Is the first time I saw her, why are you shaking your head like that?
Laugh, right? You have not changed. That's good. Like, you're still
No, I haven't. And I still want my rematch, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, I did notice her like way before I even tried to say hello. Like the first time I saw her, I'll tell the story till the day I die. She walked out of her office to the vending machine, and the first thing I noticed was she was wearing a mini skirt and she had some nice legs. Is that love at first sight? No, that's just me saying, "Oh, damn, nice legs." And I left it alone at that. You know, like she got some nice legs. I wasn't trying to be nasty. I'm just sitting in the corner, you know, and then she walks out and I'm like, oh, okay, nice legs. And I kept it moving. Nothing else, you know. So to this day, she's like, she asked me one time, "When was the first time you ever noticed me?" And I said, "Oh, I tell that story when you walked out of the office and I saw your legs." And like, I saw your legs. You went to the vending machine, got some chips or something, and that's it. That is not lust.
Yeah, I agree.
I did not lust her. I said I noticed. I noticed her legs. That was not lust.
You know, it's a many legs. Okay?
Nothing else happened after that. I did not sit. I just noticed it was not lust. Okay? And that was it. Hey, my fault Delta skirts were so small, all right? Okay? I didn't make them beautiful.
So we have a comment from Sean. Oh well first of all, let me not skip. Oh, we have a lot of comments here. This Paula Washington. Can you see that, Lydia, better than I can? Because this thing looks too small for me. I'm sorry.
Said, even on
I already finished reading it. That was great. I like that.
Paula
go ahead, Lydia.
Washington, she says, even on an aircraft or an emergency, they tell you to take care of yourself first before you try to take care of someone else. You know what, Paula?
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yeah.
What they say, put on that oxygen mask before you help the one that, even if you have small children.
She's absolutely right, and that makes sense. That does make. I mean, why do we so often give instead of like, okay, hold on, let me see if I'm okay first. Like, we check on me first before moving forward.
Right.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Right. You
Yep,
can't go
'cause how
into a
can
relationship
you
damaged. You
someone
just
else?
can't. You can't go into a relationship, marriage, anything damaged. You can't.
No.
Yep.
You know what's another thing that I honestly do not. Well, I don't like when people go into the next relationship doing the same exact thing that they did in the last one, so to speak.
Give me an example.
Like something simple, like, okay, I used to, not saying me, but let's just say you're in a relationship with somebody and the two of you used to go to the mall or movies or whatever, and you sat in this exact seat. Okay? So now you feel in the next relationship, I'm going to sit in the same exact seat. Like, you're not moving on. You're continuing where you left off because this is your comfort.
Right.
You're comfortable right here. You just don't want to be with that person, but you're trying to turn the new person into the old person by still doing the old stuff you used to do with the new person.
Trying to find something that you lost down the way.
Yeah, with somebody new. Then why'd you leave the last person? Go back to that one and make it better.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't have left. Work it out. Do y'all watch Sinbad? Sinbad had a stand-up 2014. Okay, the man said it straight up. He was married for a while to his wife for over 10 years or something like that, and they broke up and came back together, and they've been married for X amount of years. And the crowd clapped. He said, because we too damaged to be with anybody else. We had to come back home. Okay, and that's sometimes you need to split. I call it a reset. You know, sometimes you gotta split. Even with friendships, not even just relationships, friendships too. You gotta reset. Sometimes, you know, it's like, you know what? We're messing up right now. Let me hit that reset button and let's boot this back up. Let's take a while. It could be a month, 3 months, it could be a year. Who knows?
Yeah, when you take that time to spend and work on yourself, you guys working on each other.
Yeah.
And come back together and work things out.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. It's different when you guys take that time out for each other. Like, look, I need a minute. I need to work on myself. You work on yourself. If we find that we are, you know, compatible still and we can make it work through our struggles that we have to work through.
I agree.
Exactly. All right, we have a so Tatiana said that's true. Instant connection is very real. Exactly. Especially in the church world too. You could go to a church that's you're visiting a church and meet someone and become friends with that, you know, and then you have an excuse to go visit that church. It happens.
It's true.
So Sean has a little short story for us. So he says, I'm gonna tell you guys a true testimony. I've never wanted women for the right reasons, only to fulfill my needs for the most part. So I never felt the need to be the man God needed me to be to even be admired by a strong woman in God. That was a problem. I'm single now and I have to humbly wait for a yes from God before entering into anyone else's life. That's the very short story of my love life. LOL.
Yes, Sean. Yes, Sean.
Yes,
Sean.
Sean.
A lot
I
of
have
men
to go
don't
like
get
this,
to that
Sean.
point.
Yes, Sean.
Listen,
Yes, Sean.
I feel it.
I'm so glad that it's men that recognize stuff like that because
Right.
you cannot move on to the next thing if you don't recognize what you're lacking.
Yeah, that's so true.
But
No,
you're
that was
right.
real.
You gotta
That was
put it in
real.
God's hands because you don't want to waste your time again to get into something with somebody else, and you know you just waste your time. You could get yourself right, but because you're so afraid of being alone, you're gonna hop into the next thing.
Right. Right.
And it's not what's supposed to be meant for you.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta wait
And
for the
like
right
Sean,
person to come through.
and when
That
Sean
was-
said,
that was
I like
real.
what he said, what I took out of that testimony when he said he needs to hear a yes from God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl.
A lot of people don't seek God when it comes to relationships. They just go into what feels good or what look good.
This right
You
here.
understand? The way
Mhm.
society is right now when it comes to relationships, it's all for the look.
Yes.
You know, besides
Right.
confronting and standing side by side to hear God speak to you, to be like, this is the person for you. You know, I need you to walk this way to get to this person. I have somebody waiting for you. You understand? A lot of times people just go right in for it just because it looked good. It seemed fun. But, you know, if God said it ain't for you, ain't going to look.
Amen.
Right?
And
It's
like,
all great.
y'all deep tonight. I got to go.
No, for real. You can open for yourself though. I can only speak on myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's been situations where I felt like I didn't necessarily completely heal from, but I would hop into the next thing to kind of distract me from avoiding
What was going on in the
to
back
deal
of the
with what I have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
When you start noticing patterns and how you do things, you start to realize maybe sometimes you're the problem.
Right. That's true.
I know exactly what I did the same thing. Broke up with somebody and went to just everything.
Into something else because
Yeah.
don't want to.
And the only person who was getting hurt at the time was me anyway. The only person I was just hurting myself because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And then I did end up hurting somebody because there was actually somebody who did want a relationship, and then I'm doing all the relationship things, but not giving that person the title. And I'm like, well, I don't want this from you. And it became a thing, and then eventually that stopped. You know, we're cool to this day. We're cool, but at that time, it was bad, and that was on me.
Yeah.
That was on me because I was still hurt. I was still hurt. I wanted a relationship with the past, couldn't get it. Just started moving on, hopping from this person to that person, and this individual wanted to be with me, and I refused to give it to her. I don't, because deep down I was hoping that the past would come back.
Yeah.
And the past never came back. Once I got over that and just moved on, it was like, okay, by that time she moved on. You know, like we were. So, you know, no what ifs, anything like that. It's just, well, she moved on, she found somebody, and over time I found somebody. But it was bad on my part to do what I did.
Yeah. But females do the same thing. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Say it again. Louder.
If y'all know, because I know females, we go through stuff, we get in our mode, like, you know what, it's okay, I'm gonna show him. We get dressed, we go out, we meet somebody, you know, females do the same thing, hoping that they showing up and showing out, that the past is gonna come back and look at it like, oh, this is what I lost. This is what I need back in my life. This is what I'm gonna do to regain myself to that person. Meanwhile, we saying hurt and pitting ourselves in front of somebody else,
right? Not
knowing what they expect out of us. You understand? And you damaging the next person just to play games. Like, you know, it's vice versa. Females do the same thing. So yeah, you know, fellas, not all the time when a girl get dressed up and go out, she really having fun.
Trust. I know.
Looking at they phone
I know.
Too, like, you know,
they do it all for the gram.
You're right.
They do it for the gram. They post on the gram like, look where I'm at. I'm out now. I'm doing this. And hoping that he's seeing it or at least liking one of those pictures. And if he liked one, she's like, she be with her homegirls right there. See? I told you. I told you you missed me.
You know. So
all he did was like those shoes. That was it.
Right.
Just,
men and women do the same thing, but just in different ways, where we do the aspect of expecting the past to come back. And we're not fully getting ourselves together or giving that space to realize our wrongdoing or even to grow in a situation, because we're so comfortable with what we already been through that we ready to go back. Now, anything that pushes us up to be uncomfortable and shift us in a certain way that it feels like it's wrong, it's not right, this is not meant for me, when it really could be. But you got to change your ways into stepping into something new or being on a high level.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Exactly. So I just want to jump into these comments. You have something to say, Lydia?
No, I was just, she would say hire yourself. I said, yes, elevate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Miss Paula Washington says, I do. I agree that it could be among good friends. I've always mistaken lust. I've also mistaken lust at first sight for love at first sight.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes you can see a woman that just looks so fine. She got the fat booty, big breast, beautiful long hair, Coca-Cola body. She just look good. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. Then you might have sex with her, and then you're like, next. Wasn't love.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it again. I did not lust. Put that out there. That's not what happened.
I begged it. Right, you was loving them knees, okay?
So we have another question from Lady Sherelle. Question: have you ever changed yourself to make someone love you? I guess that means have you faked the funk or pretended or just did what the other person wants you to do?
If you change yourself for the better, go right ahead and do it.
Well, yeah,
For the better.
Yes.
Now, if you change yourself to be somebody phony, somebody you are completely not, you know, and
I agree.
that ain't right. No.
Yeah.
And not
No,
just that, but I feel like, yes, like in a relationship, that person should push you to want to be better,
Mm-hmm.
love better, communicate better, all of that. I agree.
Now, that's the only thing. That's the only thing you should take to the next relationship.
Right, but I also feel that a person should accept you, your ways, your flaws for who you are. If that person is pushing you to be better, then yes.
If you go into a relationship and the last relationship you were in, that person, whatever it was helping you be a better person, and whatever it doesn't work out, take those things that you learned in the last relationship to the next one. Not the baggage. Only the positive stuff. Like, example, this person taught you how to have your credit score better. Take that. Everybody needs that.
Right.
Well,
don't help me to mess up your credit.
You take them.
Well, guys,
skills to the next relationship.
Well, guys, one thing though, this question, I wanted to make sure we're reading this question right. The question is, have you ever changed yourself to make someone love you? So maybe you said, if this guy wants me to do this, you know, so if this guy wants me to wear a blonde weave because he likes white women, but maybe he can't get a white woman, so he wants you to wear the blonde weave because that's just what he like. I don't know, something like that, but it says make.
Well, again, that can still somewhat be almost like what we're saying. Let's just say this person likes you and they want you to get, I don't know, in shape. I don't know. You know, change your diet. Stuff like that is okay. But completely changing who you are completely, no.
No.
Yeah, I just don't like the word make someone love me. I don't want to make anybody love me. I want them to genuinely love me. So if I have to change something to make, I don't know how can I make you love me? You know what I'm saying? No, you can't make any. I don't care if you're rich. You know what I'm saying? If I had $10 million, of course there's gonna be women that are just gonna come to me and they'll say they love me because they want money, but I'm not making them really love me. They don't really love me.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but it's 2020. A certain kind of marriage is legal. So if you have $10 million, I'm gonna make you love me. So you better. You owe me 100. You gonna pay up?
You crazy, man.
Man said 10 million. Well, I don't know.
What J-Lo say, love don't cost a thing.
Right.
It don't cost a thing. It should not cost a thing for you to buy me gifts, you to buy me all of this, for you to gain my love in return. I don't know. Like, I want you to pursue me. I want you to get to know me. I want you to really be interested in me. Yeah. Don't buy my love.
Right. Love me, flaws and all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one thing I hate when men do when they trying to pursue you. They tell you what they could do for you off gate. Like, I got this.
They do.
I can do like that. It's like a whole resume. I got money. You could have your own this, and you could. I can buy a car. Why are you messing with these broke guys and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
But you
It
have
goes up deaf
something.
ears because I'm just like,
But do you have
that's
substance?
that's really what you're offering right now. Like, how about really getting to know me? Like, I'm not perfect.
Right.
Like, why not see the flaws, see the scars? You don't know what pain I've been through in the past. You don't know what I've been through in the
money ain't
past.
gonna fix it. Money won't fix that.
Oh,
It
money
won't.
won't fix that. I don't
No.
understand why like that's thrown up so much when it comes to men. Like, oh, I could offer you this and give you the world. Nah, I don't want the
I
world.
mean, a man can offer you all that, but can he offer you, the security behind it, all that? You got to think about all that stuff.
Right.
Like, okay, so you got mad money. You can buy me this, buy me that. On top of buying this and buying me that, can you put a roof over my head? If there's no roof, we can't. We're too old for that. We're too old for just you buying these shoes. Where's the roof?
Yes.
But I feel like it's even more than a materialistic. Like, if what happened if you had like all that money was taken from you, are you really still gonna be that man and go out there and provide and hold me down?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Exactly.
like I just know what type of female I am. Well, now that I am, I'm gonna say because old Lydia back then, she liked to play. But this new Lydia, grown woman Lydia, like, no, I want something different. I want the reciprocation. I want it back. Maybe, like, I can explain it. Like, I can't explain it, but it's just like I want more. And like Sean said, I'm waiting for that yes. Like, what, Lord?
Yeah.
Oh, she said what? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta make sure that's clear.
Exactly. And also, Sean said, Brian, I finally fell in love too and wanted to do it right, but that was the time God released his karma towards me for the people I didn't do right by in my past life. It happens. It happens that way.
Mm-hmm.
It all catches up with you at some point whenever
Yes.
you used to just taking advantage of, not saying Sean took advantage, but in certain situations you do, like you take advantage of what a person could do for you, what that person has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And as it catches up with you, you think it's not, but you're going to get to a point where literally everything you did to that person, somebody you run into is going to do it to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And sometimes too, when you have kids, the stuff that you did as a young man, like Brian and I, the stuff that we did, whatever we did, our kids might do the same thing. And we'd be like, dang.
That's why you gotta pray now.
Right.
You gotta pray now before they reach that the age that,
Andre got it worse because he got daughters.
Don't say that.
I have a shotgun.
I got one boy. I'm like, oh, please, oh Lord, please don't do what I did. Please don't do what I did. Because one thing I'll say is one thing I definitely avoided was unwanted pregnancies. I've avoided child support, all that negative. I have avoided all that. Thank God. He don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't need no. Child support is no joke. I know it's no joke. You don't need that. I don't. No. That. Shut up. Thinking about that. Jesus. I know people who work their asses off and come home with like $50 in 2 weeks because the judge is like, no, all that money gone. Like, no, man, like
it's
seriously.
real. But that's the price you got to pay for putting your own self into certain situations you shouldn't have put yourself in to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Just the price you pay.
Next question.
Exactly. Andre Jaho, that's where your repentance come in, to ask God to not put that on your seeds. Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta pray about it. That's all
You gotta
I said.
pray about it.
Yep.
Yep.
Now I see why my mother prayed all the time.
Yes.
All the time. Okay.
Yo,
You get to
We
that
ain't here no
age,
more.
that
We ain't
coming
here
up
no more.
age.
She probably still praying.
yeah, like it clicked.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
Wait,
what she
That's
is
where all those
still
prayers
praying.
came from.
Still praying.
Like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it.
Dude, I know my mother be praying about me in my sleep. I'll be feeling it.
yes.
Listen, I don't know about your mother. I used to wake up with oil.
With oil right on the head. Yes. Yes. No, she
I morning,
on my
and it's like
door.
a cross with like an oil drip because the way I so it on ooze down here somewhere. Like
Yes. All you on the door, all you on my headboard, on me, and then a prayer blanket. So I know. Trust me, I know.
Well, my mother did not go to church.
She called the water though. She never did that Peter Popoff water.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
Yes,
You got somebody praying for you 24/7.
that's right.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, she ain't here no more. She probably still praying to this day. Like, keep praying.
You know,
I'm no longer here, but I'm gonna keep praying.
Right.
okay.
With every little hug, she probably whispering behind your back while she holding you praying. You don't know.
Well, for me, my mother didn't go to church. It was just my dad and I. So I'm sure that she did pray, but I never heard my mother pray. The only thing my mother did was to tell me to go get a switch. We had a switch tree in the back, and that's how I got right.
I remember your switch tree, bro.
A switch hurts, okay?
You know it's bad when we in the backyard play wrestling and his aunt come outside to get a switch to go beat his nephew. Okay. We're in the backyard wrestling and she coming back there, excuse me, y'all. And this
Taking the branches off. She's like measuring it.
In the middle of us playing, and he gonna say, "You get that switch?"
Somebody about to get their tail told.
All you knew was it wasn't for you.
Wasn't for me.
Lord.
It was always belts for me or whatever else my mother can get her hands on, but never a switch. Never a switch.
Sean said he needed that oil back then. And then he said, and don't go get one of those don't go get one of those thin switches either. Oh yeah. One time I got a small one, and she would say, go back and get 3, and then she would take 3 and braid them together.
I'm done.
And if you ever get a whipping out the shower, you take a bath, and then she waiting for you, you really messed up.
Oh my goodness.
That's abuse.
These kids don't know nothing about whippings.
That is abuse. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
My son just gets either my hand or a belt. That's it. And I think my wife said I'm heavy-handed, so she's like, you gotta watch out, you know, when you hit them. Like, well, don't take that the wrong way. Why she says I'm heavy-handed? Okay, I don't beat her. Okay, I don't need no comments coming up about how she know you're heavy-handed. No, I don't beat on her. Okay. I didn't lust after her.
Let's go back to the comments.
Yeah, the comments.
Questions in the comments. Statements in the comments.
All right, we don't have any. We're all done with no further comments. I don't see any comments. Oh, well, yeah, John just said that's how it was.
Okay, if we're talking about the switch beating, well, yeah, that switch fine, but braiding it together, what you said, Dre, that's abuse, man. I don't know. We need to report this. This needs to be reported.
I'm okay. I turned out all right. It's okay. If I could go back in time, I'd take the whippings again just to have my mother here.
Not me.
You know.
I would love for her to be here, but I don't want the whoopings. No, thank you. If the whoopings, if she can come back without the whoopings, please come on back. If the whoopings got to come, by all means, please stay in the ground. I don't want the whoopings.
Oh my goodness.
She don't need to be here anyway. It's 2020. This is a crappy year anyway.
So like
2020
was to me, for me, was self-growth.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of lessons, like a lot of lessons that I learned in 2020. But majority self-growth, because it's just starting with, loving myself first. being aware of who I keep in my circle as far as like energy wise.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, because in 2020 I found out like who really are my friends, and like, and I'm gonna say friends, I'm gonna say who's really for me and who's not for me. Like I learned that I learned about like I said, self-love. I love me more. When you start loving yourself more and you put value into yourself, you start knowing your worth. You start realizing, you know, what you can bring to the table. Definitely building a strong relationship with God. That's definitely been a real thing, getting closer to God.
Right.
Ever since I've been starting that, like new opportunities and everything was opened up for me. Trust me, there was a lot of lessons and trials I had to deal with, let go, because that was just further. I just know a lot of people are not going to be on this journey with me.
Right.
The closer, I feel like the closer I build my relationship with God, the closer He's gonna reveal, and then I'm gonna start seeing, because I know a lot of people can't come with me.
Exactly.
I know, like I'm gonna have to close a couple of doors. I know, like if I want to find, well, I don't have to find, but if this husband or this marriage or this portray I want of a marriage, I know I'm gonna have to let go and build and not take everything I hear. I have to see it for what it is, and you know, like a two-sided coin, as it tells. Like I have to see it for what, you know, I have to see people for who they are. Because you know, when people show you the first time, that's really who they showing you. Like that's their soul. They showing you that spirit.
Right.
So I just need to realize like not everyone is gonna come on this journey. So I'm that's one thing I learned about 2020. I really think 2020 was a blessing in disguise for me.
It sure was.
I feel like it's just upwards for me at this point, because I'm just more aware, and I think it's because I know who I am. I know who's the source of my strength. I know who I can go to in times where sometimes I'm human. Not everything goes as planned, or I have my days where I do not want to be bothered and I just want to close the door, but I know I cannot do that. Like, I know, like, I have a greater purpose. That's just the enemy trying to get this, you know, get in my head. And I know, like I said, I know who's the source of my strength and who's my father.
Amen.
Yes.
That's definitely somebody. At least in 2020, you definitely, this year, people definitely found out who their real friends are. From March on, your friends list should have gotten smaller.
I'm telling you.
It's true.
There's people who are just not there. and whether it's gotten smaller because of whatever journey this person's on or whatever journey you're on or whatever, just 2020 alone, all the debates, just everything that has gone on, you just find out, like, when people start talking to you, all you gotta do is talk to me a certain way, and I'm like, oh, hold up, I didn't know we were really. Wow. That's really how you feel, because I feel a certain way about what everything that's going on. I'm not trying to get into that, but like this is how I feel about what's going on right now, and you're talking to me that way. It sounds like this is how you felt about me a long time ago. It shouldn't take a virus to make people start talking to you this way. Now they just found an outlet. So you let friends, you now you found out this year who your real friends are, and also you know 2020 also it's time for we're talking about love here, but let me just put this out there. It's time for the church to wake up. Church gotta wake up.
Yes. Come on, Brian. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Yes.
Do me a favor, get me off. Thank you. And that's time for the church to wake up.
Right. So speaking of the church, I don't want to skip Sean's comment. So Sean says, what do you guys consider when your parents or elders in the church teach you that just because you're both in Christ? I guess what he's saying is, you know, when they'll say, well, you should date this person because he's a nice church girl, you're both in church or whatever. My answer would be, go ahead, Lydia, go ahead.
To answer that question, I would say you need to look at the person's spirit, because everybody who says that, you know, in Christ might not be serving the same Christ.
Okay.
What's your definition of Christ?
Right.
Who are you talking about when you say God or Jesus, which Jesus, or like who are you saying? Because I need to make sure we on one accord.
Yes.
Because the Bible said don't be unequally yoked. That's where it gets a shift in the foundation there. So I want a strong foundation. So I would say I would look at the spirit first. I start asking questions.
That's right, because you know the devil go to church too.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm just saying.
I mean,
The devil knew the Bible too.
You know the devil go to church too.
the man was up there before
Hello?
all this happened, so he ain't oblivious.
Okay.
He was there. So he knows what's going on, and unfortunately, he knows what his future holds, and he's just trying to take us all down with him.
Or it could just because you go to church does not mean that that person is for you.
Yeah,
It's true. Not saying this person might just go to church just because they were raised that way. So they just go to just warm up the seat at church.
Yeah.
They say you go to church because you want to actually spiritually grow. You want to become a better person, a better child of God. And this person that your family member or whoever is trying to tell you, oh, you should go, you should try and see if you and this person are compatible because y'all go to the same church. But this person is in church for the wrong reasons. You got to be careful.
Like I just to look for a woman.
Yeah, I agree.
Or some people go to church just to look for a relationship. Like, all right,
yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna go find me a good Christian man, or I'm gonna go find me a good Christian girl. But you're not on that growth thing. You're looking for a love connection in the church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
Yep.
guys,
which is not good.
I was just gonna say, sometimes going to church to find love that's like the wrong place, in my opinion. That's probably like the worst place you can go.
There's too many people in your business.
Yeah, too many people in your business, and that's you're right, man. That's the bottom line. You got too many people in your business, and if the person that you're trying to approach is in ministry, like if they're like a preacher's kid or something, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's not a Christian, okay? Everybody that watches this show is not a Christian, so I want to cater to them too. You understand what I'm saying? If you're not a Christian and you say, okay, let me try to go to church to find the church girl, you're a guy. That church girl might be a praise and worship leader and she's at church 24/7. That might not be what you want. You might think she's pretty and you want to hit it, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I can't even deal with this. She's always at the church, blah, she's always here, and sometimes it's just not worth it. It's like if you want a girl that you could just have sex with freely with ain't no problem, and she just with it, she's down for whatever, then just go to the club and find somebody, or go on these dating apps or whatever. You don't have to. One of them something or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but there's definitely too many people in the business. I actually have a friend who he started to date this girl at church. And he loves basketball. She loves basketball. We actually used to play basketball, all of us together. She was the only girl on the court playing basketball with us. And all of a sudden, with the word got around the church that they were together, and for them to continue their relationship, this bothered me. And I told him about it. I said, that bothered me, bro. I don't understand this. They had to go talk to the pastor of the church and discuss their relationship. And I'm like, why? Is that her father? He's like, no, but she's one of the daughters of the church. I'm like, no, I'm not feeling that, bro. I was like, is her father alive? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, how come you're not talking to her father? Like, why does this have to be a church thing? Like, we're a couple. We have to get the approval of the church to be in this kind of relationship. That's why I say too many people in your business at church. When it comes to that, that's just my opinion. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Somebody just.
I think it all depends. I think it all depends, really, because I feel that let's say I'm gonna use myself as an example. If I was to go to church and I'm going to church with somebody that goes to my church, and I'm getting to know this person, right? I want to run it by my pastors. If you're a actual member of the church, you know what I'm saying? You want to pay your respect to your pastors to let them know, listen, we're forming a relationship. We just want your blessing. because it's different. It's so many topics when it comes to church, because it's got to mean something to you. It's got to mean something to you. For me, it means something to go to church. For me, it means, I want, that respect. I want that, acceptance, not from the church, of course, but from my pastors. I want to know that I'm doing the right thing, and you just kind of want to run it by them. Also, too, it all depends, like, if your church is one, there are churches out here that just run their mouths, and I mean, we just calling it how it is. There's some that do just run their mouth and be like, so and so is dating so and so
and interfere.
And interfere, exactly. No, but it's one thing to actually just go to your pastors and be like, look, we just want to come. We want to let you guys know we want your blessing, so that way God can continue to bless us as a whole, as one.
I agree.
I agree with that too. I was gonna play on it, and you don't know what their relationship was with that pastor. She could
exactly.
It could have had high respect, and you want her pastor's opinion as well on their relationship.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the vibe that he gave me. It was more like, hey, we're get me off, man. I'm talking to everybody now. I want to see everybody. Thank you. Yeah.
This video.
The vibe he gave me was kind of like, we can't be in a relationship unless the church approves it, kind of thing. I don't know. It just the way it came off to me was like, what, since when? Like as I guess I'm different. I'm not saying you guys are wrong, nothing like that. It's just the way I was.
Well, maybe initially he probably felt a way about it and probably just didn't really tell his partner and maybe opened up to you about it. Yeah.
All I know is after they had their meeting, they were no longer a couple. So I don't know what was discussed in that room. None of my business. But I always thought blessing was or if a man likes a woman, he goes to her father, or something like that. Actually, I kind of learned that from coming to America back in the day. You gotta go through her papa. You see, that's like I want to be with your daughter.
I agree with you. Like, I do feel like the man should go to the father for their blessing. But I'm just saying, you have your family, then you have your church family. Yeah, it's the relationship. It's how, like King has said, like church means something to her, so she would go to her pastor and be like, Pastor, I just want your blessings and that, and see, bless us. Do you bless this relationship? Do you see, want to, talk to you about this person?
Okay.
I mean, I had experience with that. I was dating someone, and it was down the line. I was like, okay, well, he got me my pastor. Like, I pastor, we gonna sit in the service. All right, I brought a special guest with me. This is who it is. And then after service, we talked, got a little get to know each other type of thing more. And, they gave me their feedback after. Right. And this was a married couple pastor. Like both husband and wife was pastors at that. So it really meant a lot to me of their feedback, not just because of my parents, but I also wanted to see from a spiritual point of view.
That part.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as for me,
that person that you don't see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, as for me,
I'm not disagreeing. It was the way it came off. Be cool, right? Be cool.
Be cool. All good.
Yeah, because so as for me with the whole church thing, I've dated girls before, and what I would do is if I really liked the girl and we actually were like in a relationship, I would invite them to church. And once I invite you to church, that's almost like meeting my parents, because I got my friends at the church. And then, the pastor too, but it's more than my friends too. Most of my
I've done that.
You being in the church.
Somebody to church. I just never said to my pastor, come over here, let's meet this person. And I just never done the whole blessing thing. I never I never looked at it that way. I always thought, you get a pastor's blessing when you want to marry the person. You sit down with the pastor first and say, all right, we want to get married. We've been a couple. Now we want to get married. Can we have your blessing to get married? Kind of thing. That was just me.
With your pastor.
Yes.
Right, exactly. Sean says, I definitely want to know what my pastor thinks after I pray. That's the next online for me. Yep, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So everybody just looking at me like I'm a heathen.
No, listen.
Like no.
When you grow up different, it's different points of view.
Yeah.
This is everybody's take on it. So it is
yeah, I agree. I feel you.
Yeah.
It was just the way it came off, like the way he talked to me about it in the presentation was like, I don't agree with that, man. I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
And like I said, after the meeting, they weren't even a couple no more. So I don't know what was discussed. I have no idea what they talked about. I just know we went to go play basketball the next time and she was not there. And I asked him what happened. He was like, nah, it's not gonna work out. I'm like, wow. Okay. Sorry to hear that, bro.
It happens. Sometimes two people can be on different levels. Right. One can be spiritually over here and the person's not ready for that. That person could be somewhere over here. They got to catch up, or they don't want to catch up and they like, nah, I'm not in that phase of my life yet.
Yeah, that's so
you got to respect it. You can't do nothing about it. I mean, life.
Yep, exactly. So I have a question that I thought about.
Okay.
How do you guys feel? And because we're talking about church, this might have to be another episode, but I asked the question anyway. How do you guys feel about keeping it 100 in the church with as terms to relationships? You have pastors like Pastor John Gray that are in the news, world-renowned pastor that has cheated on his wife twice. He's in the public eye. I'm sure there's probably plenty of pastors that cheat on their wife. The storefront pastor probably cheats on his wife, but we don't know because he's just a storefront pastor. But when you're a world-renowned pastor at that level of John Gray, he's up there with TD Jakes and all them big names. He's done it twice, and stuff has come out. How do you feel about just being honest, even if you're in the church? Because this is an example. I'm keeping it 100. I've been to a church. I met a girl. I dated her. We were sexually active. We were both church people. She sang on a praise team, and I was the drummer. And we didn't actually have sex. She wouldn't let me have sex with her, but she would let me perform oral sex on her. But she would never let me have sex.
We get it.
No, I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying?
Only 100.
And then there was another girl that was on the choir, and I was having sex with her too. So, I mean, huh?
You just a church hoe. You just man.
I'm just saying. I'm just speaking my truth. You know what I'm saying? Because there might be people that are in the church right now that are probably experiencing these type of things. So I'm just saying. Why should we, even though we're going to church, you know what I'm saying? This is how I feel. If you're not married, you know what I'm saying, you can be in a relationship with somebody that's your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you can like somebody else. But you got to be honest with the person that you saying we're a couple. You know what I'm saying? It's really when if you want to go biblical, it's really when you say, okay, we're married, and now you going to like something, you cheating on your wife. But if it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's still gonna hurt. It doesn't hurt any less because you're not my wife, but you're my girlfriend. But I feel like we need to be honest at all times, even if you're in the church. Sometimes people don't want to be honest. You might be sleeping around in the church and you feel like, okay, if I have a position and I'm sleeping around and it comes out that I might lose my position. But I feel like we just gotta keep it real. It doesn't matter. Same kind of mess that you deal with in the church, you deal with in the world. You meet a girl at the club, and then y'all just go clubbing all the time. Y'all partying, but it's the same kind of mess. Y'all arguing, y'all fighting, this and that, and the same people in the church doing the same kind of relationships. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I don't think they focus is right. Just keeping it 100. Since we keeping it 100, the focus ain't right. Your focus ain't on God. Your focus is on something else. Whatever it is, whatever his situation was. Like you were talking about the pastor that's messing with somebody from the choir, somebody from this and that, the third. Like your focus is not on God.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. Your focus, if your focus was on God, your spirit would be convicted into even wanting to feel like you're appealed to somebody else, or you're feeling something for somebody else. You got to get your feelings in check, and he didn't have his feelings in check.
That's true.
He was reacting off that flesh. And a lot of pastors is really just in it for the money. A lot of churches is just in it money hungry. They took God out of the equation. Like, it's no longer love for God. It's love for money now. And that's when you allowing the open door, you allowing just any and everything just to come in, and that thing can take control. And he's being controlled, and you're not being controlled by God.
Exactly.
I agree.
Sean has a comment. So Sean says, if we discuss it, Andre, concerning the cheating pastor, we got to keep it real about the wrong nature of it. But as the church, we got to be careful about how hard we go on the topic. When others are watching, we can be stumbling blocks or for their salvation if we're not careful with our words.
Ooh, amen.
Would anybody like to? I do have a comment, but anybody like to comment on that first?
I mean, I agree. I see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
You know, basically, you can keep it real.
Yeah.
But in a way, you just got to be careful on how you say it.
Yes.
You can't. It's always a way with words that we as humans always get stumbled across on. It's just that, you know, it's not what you say all the time, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
So in a way, you know, I completely understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
In that sense.
So does that mean that when I discuss the cheating pastor, is he trying to say that I should be careful of how I discuss those things on a public forum like this? Am I clear?
That's a question you might want to ask him.
Yeah.
Sean?
Or just not
Might
say
wanna ask
the
Sean
cheating pastor.
Well, we keep it 100, and I'm not trying to be. Well, I mean, I don't really care about the being politically correct thing or not.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that I grew up in the church. Okay, I've seen it all. I grew up in the church. I know church. I know how church works. Church works almost like a business. You understand? It's a business in certain sense. Even me saying this right now, that church is a business, might be controversial.
Right.
But listen,
But
it is what it is. And if you are a cheating pastor and you are a world-renowned pastor, I'm sure that the people that are not saved have seen that the pastor that cheated is famous and he cheated. That's not what I mean. Even if I say it on this show,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to be babysitting people and spoon feeding people, you know what I'm saying, baby food. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? People, and it's another thing, people always say, oh, church people are hypocrites, church people are this, church people are that.
Yeah. Like, you just got in my head. I was about to be like, I think that's the problem. People be like, Christians are judgmental, hypocrites.
Right.
They think they're perfect, and they keep on forgetting we too battle. I'm just speaking for myself. Let me speak for myself. I too battle with fleshly things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about okay, forgiveness. That's something, that's a flesh, or something as far as like being in my ego sometimes, like always have to be right. Like that's something I know I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. So I think that's what people get it twisted when it comes to that part. Like we still human as well.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. And then the thing about church too is that, you know what I'm saying, as far as all of that about him being hypocrites, people talking about you, gossiping, and we always blame and first of all, Sean, I definitely understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I know we have a responsibility to not make the church look bad, but sometimes the church makes itself look bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the actual church, but the people. The church is just a building. The people, you know what I'm saying? We make the church look bad. We make Christianity look bad by our actions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the world sees it. So I can't really sugarcoat it or try to be gentle with the topic. And this platform is not for that. I understand what you're saying, brother. You know what I'm saying? But we just gonna keep it real and stop babying people. When you go to work, your boss is, I'm just gonna say, your boss is an asshole. Okay, you have a boss that's an asshole, and you still go to work every day because you need that paycheck. So why would we go to church if the church mother is a gossiping woman, or people are gossiping? We say, oh, I'm hurt, or I'm not gonna go back because they're hurting me. You're not going to church for people. You're going to church to serve God, to get something from God, to get a release. Now, if the church you're going to is too gossipy, maybe you're in the wrong church. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Just to add to that, I definitely agree with that, because a lot of people go to church and, like I say, the focus is not on God. Some people just go because they're being encouraged to go, but it's like a lot of people just are looking at what one is doing, and they're not looking at themselves. So I think I was either talking to Lydia, or I don't know who I was talking to about this, but people like to see before they put 110% into something, before they want to fully get into going to church and giving their life over to God. They look at the next person, like, okay, is it working for you? Oh, okay, it must not, because you did this and that.
Like it's an overview.
Right, like, no. And then guess what, they stray away because they looking at the next person. But if you were in their shoes, would you do the same? Or how would you go about it? Would that be a struggle for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't judge. People like to judge. And it's like, I feel as Christians, like, they like to judge Christians even more because they feel that, you know, it's not even so much about religion. It's spiritual for us. Like, well, at least for me. For me, it's spiritual. I don't find myself to be a religious person. I find myself to be spiritual.
Yep, and there is a big difference in being religious and being spiritual. Religion is, I go to church every Sunday because my mother made me, and when I get older, I just go to church every Sunday because that's what I'm brought up to do. When I get older, I'm still not.
That's so true. I was just having a conversation with my mom on break. Like, you know, it's a big difference between spiritual and being religious, because in the same sense, you got to understand, when you being religious, you're in the church, you doing things by what the church is abiding by. You understand? But when you're spiritual and you have that connection with God, you're going to do what God says. You understand? Amen. As opposed to what the church allow and tell you what they, you know, sometimes as a church, not to offend anyone, we go off of our own understanding. You understand? So at the end of the day, if God tells you to do something or walk this way or say this, it could look contradicting to the church because they're not used to doing it that way. They never seen it done that way. You understand? So at a certain angle, being religious, it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Being spiritual is fine. It's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you got to understand where you stand. You understand? It's not just hurting with the group. You got to understand where you stand and what you're focused on and what God says to you and where he want to direct your life in.
And also too, I just want to add something, because a lot of us want to sugarcoat stuff, but a lot of stuff don't need to be sugarcoated. It just need to be said how it is. And I get what Sean is saying as far as, you know, like, we got to be careful, whatnot. If God tell me to say something to you and he told me to say it a certain way, then cool. But but seriously, like, the only way you don't listen, like, for me, I can't, like, I'm not gonna receive something if it's being said to me all sugar coated and all butterflies and flowers. I like real raw talk. Like, I'm gonna understand if you give it to me how it is. I might not like it. I might not at the moment fully agree with it, but I'm gonna sit back and be like, you know what?
That person was right.
Right.
True.
Exactly. I agree.
You know, as far as some of these pastors who cheat, I think some of that power gets to their head too.
That's true.
You run this church, whether it's a storefront church or a mega church, whatever, just being up on that pulpit says power.
Yeah, it's like being a celebrity. You know, the fame, you get the money, you get the women who lust after you.
Women, some women do like a man with power.
Right.
I don't know about y'all. I'm just saying, some women do like men with power, and it shows. You know, even it sometimes it's not just the pastor. It could be the guy on the pulpit who plays the drums. Shows power.
Yeah.
Keyboardist, organist, bass player, whoever.
You play all those instruments, don't you?
No, I don't play bass.
But seriously, like that whole power thing is you got women who throw themselves and it's like, well, I'm the pastor of the church. I can do what I want. As long as it's quiet, it's cool. Then the minute it blows up, you know, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but you know, years ago, I still wonder if that prostitute never blew up, what happened between her and Jimmy Swaggart. Would he have been on the stage confessing what he did with that prostitute? Like I said, I'm not judging him. But would he have confessed in front of the whole church, the whole crying and saying, I have sinned against you and all that stuff? Would he have done that?
Probably
if
not.
she didn't come out and try to extort him? Don't know. I mean, I'm not one to judge, but power. Right. Power, like you said, like Christina said, celebrity. You're a celebrity now, and celebrities go through this. So I'm pretty sure that's the flesh right there. Pastors go through it too.
Well, you know what? Also, when you're a manager of a store or a restaurant, the manager that probably gives the hours, you have some women that will sleep with the manager so they can get the schedule they want.
I had a coworker like that, and don't.
See, they're movies, but it's real.
You see
the thing that's so bad is men we'll fall for it because we just that stupid. Hey, listen, I can't come in on that day. Well, you need to. Are you sure? You know, because I can. All right, come on. You can have the day off.
Oh my god.
I guess you get to take the week off. He's so stupid. You know?
I can't.
We are. Come on. Let's just keep it at 100. Yes, we are. Yeah.
Keeping it 100. I apologize to the Super Saiyan folks watching.
It's too much. Who said it? Was it Cat Williams who said it? That if you have a vagina, you have the most power in the world. Was it him that said that? Some comedian said that. He said, if you're a woman, you have a vagina, you run the world. Something like that, he said. And well, it's the truth. Y'all, because we stupid. We are.
So Sean says Raw is good. Don't get me wrong, but with some people, Raw becomes insulting and tearing down. That's when it's unhealthy. So it has to be balanced in keeping it real. Feel me? I definitely feel you. You know, some people feel like I'm gonna curse you out every chance I get because I'm real. I'm a real. You know, some guys would say I'm a real nigga. I'm a real this. I'm a real that. You know what I'm saying? And they can say anything that's on their mind because they're a real this.
Right.
Everything is negative. Everything is I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind. So yeah, but that doesn't mean that what you're saying really makes sense just because you're telling it like it is. If a woman, you know what I'm saying, is wearing a wig and or wearing one of those lace fronts and you could see like something, you know, like if it's just jacked up and you say to her straight in front of everybody, yo, your wig is busted. And you just say loud, I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping it real. That's insulting. That's not nice.
That's insulting, yeah. Instead of just waiting until later and taking that private.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, that's not what I meant. I don't mean like tell the truth. Tell it so raw that, you know, it becomes disrespectful. No. Right. Not being disrespectful, not being negative.
No, I mean, as in a way that sometimes some people are hard-headed like myself. And I just mean things to be said the way it is.
Yeah.
And you're right. You have to be careful in a way of how you word certain things. That doesn't mean a curse you out. That doesn't mean be disrespectful or question your character.
Right.
None of that. I'm just saying you gotta be real
with somebody. Especially like if Kenya was to say something and I'm like, you know what? No, you was wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? And I'm gonna tell you why you was wrong. At that point, that's me just being real with her, not being in a negative way, but still letting her know, like, I love you no matter what.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep it real with you and let you know when you stand right and when you stand wrong.
Exactly.
Like that. Just being raw. Yeah. Not holding back like, I think you was right, but you was wrong, and trying to sugarcoat it and beat around the bush. No.
Yeah.
Right. Baby girl, I love you.
Real, like, nah, you was wrong.
Like that.
Real friends are gonna tell you the truth.
That's it.
Your real friends will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's the truth. Your real friends will tell you the truth. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. But if someone's not your friend yet, if it's a stranger and you trying to like, whether you're trying to just help them out, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to, okay, so you got the young black boys. And I'm gonna say boys because I don't see no men sagging their pants. I see young black boys showing their underwear all the time, and if I go say something to them, I can't go all hardcore on them because you know what I'm saying, it's not gonna reach them, especially if they think they're hardcore. It's either gonna be an altercation or they're gonna feel disrespected, especially if they're in front of their boys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta come calm and just have something positive to say. And even if I say, you know what, hey man, I'm gonna buy you a belt. Let's go get something to eat. Take them somewhere. Take them to McDonald's, wherever. Just buy them a little meal and then go to the 99-cent store and buy them a belt and say, yeah, man, you got to respect yourself, blah, blah, blah. And you just talk to them nice.
Them dudes who say their pants don't want no belt.
I know they don't, but at least you're saying it in a nice way. I'm not going to be all down about, man, yeah, man.
I wouldn't even waste my time, man, because, you know, it's already been out there. Too many men have gone on TV and said it. Men who've been to jail have said it. They said what sagging the pants really came from. It came from jail. Okay, they use the term sagging is fagging. No offense to anybody out there, but they said you in jail, you sag your pants, you letting dudes in there know you can come get this. Okay, that's what I'm about. And then they brought it to the outside, and now everybody thinking this is a style. That's not a style. That's you're giving out a message, and I don't know no man who wants their ass to be seen. Like, why am I showing my no, I'm not trying to show off mine. Like, I mean, women shouldn't either, but I mean, if I'm a look, I'd rather look at a woman than a man's.
But like, what I think what Andre's saying is like that act of kindness. You never know, like by a belt or what kind of impact you left on them. They might not, you know, do that again now that they have a belt. You don't know what impact. And I think that like the subject like tonight about love, like that little act was an act of love, an act of kindness.
I
definitely, you know, show you the way and that little talk of love, like respect yourself, like you're a young man, stop looking at me like a thug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get that completely. I completely get that.
But you just said you was just like you wouldn't waste your energy, but you.
No, that's just me. That's me.
I know that's you.
That's just me. You know, like, but don't come down on me now. I'm just saying that's me. Okay.
Brian, Brian, Mr. Jones.
Right.
Mr. Jones. I'm just using your words. I'm just using your words of what you said, and you coming at me for using your words.
well, how about this though? Because see, a lot of girls they date guys with these pants sagging. Like if a man comes up to you looking like that, will you date him? Coming in with his butt out?
Hey,
is that appealing?
Hi. Yes, hello. How are you?
Oh, we're supposed to. Okay, hello. How's it going? I didn't even see that. All right, I'm the rude one.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, joining the conversation.
if a man comes to you, you know the way the three of you carry yourself, obviously you guys carry yourself wonderful. And if a man comes up to you,
Ryan, I think that's a compliment. Go ahead, continue.
calm down, right? Calm down.
We are in the presence of queens right now. Okay.
You want to stop? Can I say what I'm trying to say?
I'm just
Okay,
saying.
go ahead.
that
Sorry, go ahead. Okay,
Oh,
you have
y'all
the floor.
all right.
You have it.
Go ahead, man.
If a man comes to you with his pants sagging, will you entertain that?
No.
The butt way.
I think a lot of women should not entertain that. If a man comes up to you with his butt out talking about your mom or whatever, I don't know the lingo. I don't know.
Chaude.
Yeah, first of all, I think that should stop right there. Okay, don't even speak like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but now on top of you speaking like that, now you're coming over with your butt out. And women are actually acknowledging it and actually dating these guys. And if more women would say no, we don't date men with their pants sagging, maybe they'll stop doing it. Maybe since the media and music and stuff influences everybody, what if a woman came out with a song saying?
I was gonna say is that I feel like it's celebrity. Definitely the celebrities out here have big influences. But I feel like also like we've been talking about this self-love thing. They do not know the value in themselves yet to understand maybe that's not what they want.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
True.
Exactly.
Like you said, this whole celebrity thing. What if somebody remember back in the day? What was that song? TLC. No scrub.
No scrub.
He's
For about 2 years.
affiliation.
Oh, yeah, I can't see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
All right, guys. Hold on, guys. So we have Will is here, our other panelist. He is here. Let me bring him in the stream.
Okay.
What's up, Will?
Well,
Hello.
how's it going? We have never
How
met.
you doing?
Will, do me a favor, Will. Will, can you turn your phone sideways, please?
It's looking the wrong way. There you go. How's it going?
It's time to catch up.
Yeah, see if you can turn your phone sideways for me.
Yeah, that ain't working.
What's yours, an iPhone?
Yeah.
All right. Make sure the screen rotate lock is not on.
I think you know how to use a phone.
Hey, I'm producing here. I have to tell him what to do to get the proper shot, okay? Thank you. Boy, I know what I'm talking about.
Now I gotta adjust where I look. Where are you? There you
No,
go.
he's on your right. On your right.
Now I gotta readjust how I look everywhere.
So how you doing, Will, man?
Hello, how are y'all doing today?
Good. Have you been watching, or are you just like? Have you been watching anything we said tonight?
I'm just getting to my phone, getting to see what's going on. Hello, ladies. Y'all look lovely, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, so let's somebody give him a recap. Well, not the whole thing, just last thing we're just talking about, so he can join in the conversation. Lydia,
I can't hear nothing. Say it again.
can you hear me?
It's like breaking up.
Yeah, I was getting that also.
Oh, okay. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
We can hear you.
I hear you fine.
Okay, can you hear me, Lydia?
I can hear you, but it's a bit distorted, like a little digital.
Lydia, can you hear me now?
It's coming back.
It might be on
Give me
my.
1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, Lydia, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, we gotta go. Sorry. Okay, Will, we're gonna try this properly. Let's try this again. We bring you in here, Will. Can you hear me, Lydia?
It's coming back.
All right,
Does it
let's
say it
see.
again?
Can you hear me, Lydia? Can you hear me, Lydia?
I hear you a little better.
Everybody else? Danielle, Christina, Brian, can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Okay, say it again.
Yes. I can
Lydia,
hear.
Lydia, thanks, May Beauty.
Say it again.
Banks Made Beauty. We're having some technical difficulties, folks. Don't leave. Do not leave the stream. Can you hear me now, Lydia?
Okay, it's coming back. Yeah, it's coming back.
All right, we gotta make sure you're the host, so we gotta make sure you can hear everything from everybody.
Right.
Yes.
Can you hear everybody else, Lydia? Somebody say, Kenya, say something.
Can you hear us? Lynn,
Kenya,
you can hear me?
I can hear you clear.
Can you hear me clear?
Huh?
Can you hear me clear, Lydia?
A little bit. It's like you're choppy.
Hold on, Will. All right, can you hear me now, Lydia?
I can. That's weird.
Man, I'm sorry. All right, I know what I'll do. Take over. I'll let Will have some talk time. All right, you're in control, Lydia.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what have I missed?
Now we'll talk.
What did I miss?
Don't use that. That's probably what it is. Don't use those. We hear you now.
Make sure you turn it off.
Can you hear me now?
See, I can hear now. Say
You can hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you better.
Oh, so maybe it was the AirPods then.
Okay.
Okay, Will's clearing up because I couldn't hear Will like that. Only could hear King and Bryant the last time.
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
Lydia, can you hear me now?
You're
Lydia,
still
can you hear me
choppy, but
now?
I can hear you better.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna produce. Go ahead. You got it, Lydia.
Okay, I hear you now.
You sure? You sure you can hear me clear? You sure you can hear me clear?
I hear you now.
All right, let's go. Give Will the update, Lydia.
Okay, so the update we were talking about men wearing their pants sagging, and what was just basically Andre was talking about, showing that act of kindness, talk to that young man, and then Brian was saying like he wouldn't waste his energy to do that because there's already like celebrities and everyone else making examples, and women are already accepting it. And he asked us a question, will we accept it? Which I know I wouldn't. I know King and Sade wouldn't. And then that's when you came in.
First of all, I don't think it's appropriate to wear your pants sagging. It's a disgrace to the race. It's a disgrace to the culture too, because as an adult, you should be able to dress in a certain way, to look a certain way. And I understand we all follow trends and we all like fashion and we all look to the celebrities for guidance with clothing and things of that nature, but I've never wore saggy pants. Now I would say I was a part of the baggy clothes category, but
oh yeah,
baggy pants, like sagging my pants. My grandma would have took that belt and tied it around me so fast. It's like no, right. not around here. Like, right. So I don't think it's acceptable. I don't think women should accept men that dress in that format, because it's kind of it's a tad bit disrespectful, and it's lowering the class, lowering what you're getting, lowering the expectation on things. You should definitely be able to wear your pants, whatever kind of pants they are, at your waist with the belt.
Yeah, I definitely remember the baggy clothes.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my old pictures, like, wow, I was wearing like 3X and I only weighed like 110 pounds.
Right, we would go to the store and get the triple long Taliban t-shirt. Like, oh my gosh, yes. I looked at a picture of me and my cousins and I was like, okay, don't archive that for real. We all had like fitteds on and saggy shirts, and I'm like, wow,
oh man,
that's not like
wait,
the look.
guys. So
Kevin says the saggy pant looks is an open door to the spirit of perversion, among other things. That goes to speak what Bryant says, that
them dudes in jail.
Yes. Yes, it does have a meaning.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
There's definitely a meaning behind
I
it.
really wish somebody, well, I don't want to say wish, but just like back in the day, we had them songs, TLC, No Scrubs. Okay, we need somebody to come up with a song saying no sagging pants.
The thing about that is
years. It was like 2 years. You kept hearing women singing or saying that dudes come up to them. No, you a scrub. Like, ew. We were all scrubs in 1998. We were only in the 8th grade.
No saggy.
Don't look from me.
How y'all calling dudes your age scrubs? Of course we had no car. Okay, we were in the 8th grade. But y'all already had that mentality of, no, I don't want no scrub. Like I'm doing homework. Like, I'm asking you for the classwork for crying out loud.
Study, I could barely get my own laptop, but you want me to have a car? Like, of course, my mama pays for everything.
Don't ask me nothing for scrub. I can't even cheat on your paper.
What else? Does anyone else in the comments have anything to say?
Yes, speak up in the comments.
We are just talking about the shallowness of everything.
No, it came up to be just more so of how we want to be approached.
Right.
And what do we find acceptable and what we don't find acceptable. Especially between our community.
So, ladies, speaking on the whole saggy pants situation, would it be a complete turnoff if the guy's pants weren't necessarily sagging all the way, but they weren't really fitted, and he was maybe someone that you would like or would want to talk to, but then you looked at him like, oh, he got baggy clothes. Like, I mean, how would it feel if you kind of knew who they were, but then saw how they dressed? And
that's the whole point of keeping it real with them.
Yeah, you gotta keep it real. You gotta be honest.
You gotta be honest.
Like, I could be like, I like you, but I really don't find the way that you dress appealing.
Right.
And that could go back to one of those other things we talked about, where would you change something about yourself to be with that person? And if the person doesn't, you carry yourself, would you change just
right?
that?
So would you work with them on how they dress?
Or
would that be a complete no?
That's up to the person.
I agree.
That's up to
the person.
You do your job by telling them.
Yeah. Once they make that decision, it's up to them. You put the ball in their court.
Okay, so say you were young when you got in a relationship and that was the style, as we just said, that was the style back then. And now as you are in your 30s, you now realize, well, babe, that's not the look. How would you go about changing his look? Because the average man doesn't really know how to get out there and be like, okay, I want to change my whole look.
Right. Right.
Good question.
To me, that's just simple. It's like, oh, babe, let's go to the mall. Let's change your wardrobe.
But what if he's not feeling it at first? So, I mean, because y'all been together and you have this time in there, you just can't be like, oh, the way he dresses is going to make me leave him.
I mean, wait, because
honestly, I'm that type of person that starts.
Wait, I was gonna say,
look, you start getting hints. If I don't see it
together, like, are we growing together?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
There's such a deep rooted issues that have pushed Black men to dress this way, which I agree.
I
agree. Ignorance of true culture, true Blackness.
Amen. Amen to that. Now that is an amen comment.
Yes, it is.
Wait, what was Kevin's comment before that? Kevin said something else. I didn't get to read it. Okay, it is the way of the enemy he has used to keep men and women in a place of bondage. Okay. I agree. That's true.
See, and
it's
it's
an ignorant culture thing that has plagued the land for far too long, and that's true too.
That is very true.
Yes, it is. Like so many people, you know, as of this generation too, and what we saw growing up, how the mentorship that these young men get of being gangster or got to be hard, or instead of learning the right way to walk and dress, you know, to be more appropriate, because they look at it as you dress too appropriate, you look like you just trying to be something that you're not. You know, they don't feel like Black people should stand in that aura. You know, oh, you being too preppy. You look like you trying to be part of how white people dress, and you know, style is style. That's just what it is. But it's a way that you gotta have an approach. You know, when you're going for a job, you can't sit and be having no saggy jeans down to your knees.
Thank you.
Getting accepted for that job.
Exactly.
You know, it's just not acceptable.
And I just feel like this generation now, it's not a lot of people stepping up to be leaders. It's a lot of
right. No one wants to be different.
No one wants to be exactly. No one wants to be different. No one wants to take that lead and be an example. And I feel like that's where it becomes a problem, because people with like this generation, they program their technology and their phones, constantly looking at the celebrities and, oh, this is how the celebrities dress, or this is how this dress. Like, I feel like I'm more bring it up. I hate to bring it up, but Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, that song WAP. Why little girls listen to that song?
It has brainwashed.
Why little girls? And I mean, like, I'm talking about
too how females dress now too.
I'm talking about young. I'm talking about like little girls.
Not just that, but like it mainly impacts, you know, the younger generation.
It does.
Always.
It does.
You know,
like it's not.
right.
I mean, right. And it's making them feel that is acceptable, that is okay. You know, that speaking of yourself in a sexual way, portraying yourself in a sexual way is okay.
Yeah.
And because it's not actually disrespecting your worth, your own self.
Yeah. I feel like right now too, especially like songs like that, it pits where they say, oh, we're just embracing our sexuality. There's other ways you can embrace your sexuality
in
without
private.
Exactly. You don't gotta show everything. You don't gotta show every lump, every curve. You don't gotta put it all out there. But they just feel like, you know what? If I'm already showing this what I got and that I'm comfortable with it, somebody else is just gonna be completely comfortable of what I'm showing them. You know,
the sad part is sex sells.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Megan Thee Stallions and the Cardi B's and their body and that image and all that stuff is definitely starting to become so mainstream that it's forced on the kids. It's forced on the kids.
Like, we had a WAP challenge. We had, now what's the other one? The Cry
there was
Baby?
like 90-year-old grandma singing the song. Like let's be for real.
Yeah.
There's so many songs.
Viral, like there's teenager kids, and I don't think it's cute seeing little girls trying to grind. I'm talking about little girls. I'm talking about like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, like 5-year-olds. Like these little girls are really out here like grind. Like, why you know how to whine like a grown woman?
Because that's what their parents do. You know, you're a product of your environment. And you can't do better until you know better. So majority of the time, you know, you don't know that your child's actually learning the dance move.
But I don't even think sometimes it's the environment. I think that is part of it, but I think sometimes kids got access. Like these kids know technology. Quicker. It's a technology generation. They could go easily. Cartoons are doing it. Like it's easily shown to them. It's programming.
It's like the sexism and everything is just so in the forefront now. It's like so mainstream now. It's like, you know, the last time we seen a classy woman on TV was like, who?
Claire Huxtable.
Thank you. And name to me.
Family Matters.
My daughter probably doesn't know who Claire Huxtable is. You know, let's be for real. My Claire.
I was just about to say this. Like, years ago, when it came to certain kind of songs like that, you knew, like, use a 2 Live Crew for an example. Now they were some nasty. You knew, but that's all we knew. Oh, don't listen to 2 Live Crew. You're too young for that. And every other song that talked, you had a lot of love songs, a lot of, music has changed. And if there was somebody that was kind of like, a WAP kind of thing back then, you knew it was just that one person, and that was it. It's everywhere now.
And men weren't so vocal about it either back then. We weren't so throat baby songs and all this type of stuff. Like, we didn't have that kind of music back then. We actually I guess they rap more about gangbanging and drugs and whatnot. But now a man will actually get up there and be just as disrespectful to a woman as they are to themselves.
Yes.
And the songs that did back then, those things came on late night.
Late night, like what happened to it? Like the late night videos, the late night music sessions. Like,
I should turn to VH1 at noon
and see WAP playing. Like,
it's ridiculous. What was it? Teddy Riley years ago. All I Want to Do. That song.
Boom, 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 and the boom, boom.
That came on late night. That's all the uncut version, right? Good. I was with my dad.
Think about this though. Like, think about this. The songs of yesteryear, back in the day when our parents were, were doing their thing. A song like "Let's Get It On," "Let's Get It On," like "Let's Get It On" means. Let's Get It On means not me. I'm sorry, like, not me, because I would be in the house. My parents are playing cards on a Sunday, and all they doing is playing all that kind of music, and you got no choice but to hear it. But obviously, you don't really see any movement with it. Now you have music videos where you seeing stuff. Maybe imagine WAP without the video, you only heard the song. It might not be so bad.
So
what?
right,
It's bad. No, it's so bad.
You heard
That's true. That's true, because if you relate that to the song Magic Stick, Magic Stick was pretty much a very sexually explicit song too, but we didn't get an image with it. So it was like, okay, well, we know what she's talking about, but it's not being plastered all over the TV. So, so I guess I can kind of understand what Andre is saying a little bit, because when you give the visual with the words, it sets a meaning to what's being said, and it may not be true.
You have to think about LL Cool J too, doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow.
But the lyrics weren't what? The lyrics weren't like we knew what he meant back then, even as kids, but the lyrics just didn't sound so. That's just me.
They weren't so
bad.
No. It's like now it's really explicit. Like, I don't.
Now they're just blunt with it. Like,
we have to blame the internet, because if back in the day there was no YouTube, I'm sure
the internet ruins everything. By the way.
Okay, let's see the WAP video. Okay, let's see how many views the WAP video has. Okay,
I bet it's over.
Anybody know?
It's a lot.
Over 100 million, definitely.
I don't even know why you look at this one up. It's a lot. Okay.
I know it's probably a lot. Like,
that's the problem. Cardi B could go on Instagram right now and do a post, a live or whatever, and by tomorrow that thing's gonna have over 1 million, just because, what I'm saying, just on Instagram alone.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And that's the crazy thing, because this is what kids now are looking up to as, what they want to be. You got girls just as young as 16 already getting plastic surgery to look like these people.
Ooh.
It's sad. It's no one, really out in the forefront to be like, what, this is not what you girls want. Right. This is not the lifestyle or the attention that you need in your life. This comes with the price. They don't speak about the price that they already given. They talk about how luxurious everything seems. Mm-hmm. But when these girls get there, they're so unhappy. Right. And they want everything that these celebrities is rapping about. They want the guys that they have, and not understanding that this is all garbage. Like, baby, you gotta be knowing how much you are worth to understand that you don't fit in that type of lifestyle.
Right. Because
go ahead.
no, Lydia, you were holding on to that, so I'll let you speak.
When she starts doing this, just let her go.
Like,
Well, it's gonna be serious. This is like her.
look, she was almost like,
this is the
later.
It's like she's winding up the thought. She don't know.
We see you.
No, 10 million.
But what I was saying also, because
Wind it up.
wow, 310 million. Wow.
Crazy.
310 million.
But there's actually more videos. There's a version that Cardi B has 2 versions. One has 310 million. Another version has 190 million. And then there's another version that has 76 million.
Wow. So, well, let's keep it on this. As far as that, when I think about that, I just think of that's 310 million people that they influenced. But what happened if they were Christian or talking about Christianity? That could have been 310 million souls that they could have brought to Christ. I don't think people realize it's seriously a spiritual battle, and people don't see like these kids, like they're trying to take their kids to a road of destruction.
Yeah.
What they're doing does not bring any happiness, because I know they're not happy themselves.
Exactly.
They're not happy themselves. They're constantly in the spotlight. They have their puppets in this game. The puppets in a game called a spiritual chessboard. Okay?
Exactly.
I agree.
That's how I see it. Like, because that could have been 310 million. What? 310 million, not counting the numbers that you included. Can you imagine if they were talking about God in that way?
Mm-hmm.
In the same way?
Yeah. You got to understand how many people know all these songs, but versus knowing the gospel song.
Right.
You understand? Like,
what's going on?
You know all these words to this, that, and third, but what song you know about praising and worshiping? What song you know? They probably go back to the old Kirk Franklin, because that was popular.
We're not gonna even go there.
You know,
he too.
What you talking about?
Popular.
I mean, Kirk Franklin has crossed over too.
Look, Kirk Franklin on that. He
about
this
now.
now. He about this now. He about the money now. I'm sorry.
I saw
it's
Kirk
not
Franklin.
the same when he was a choir director, y'all. He was.
I saw Kirk Franklin in the airport, and I got a different vibe. I don't know what's. First of all, he's a tiny man.
First and foremost, everything is about a coin.
That man is like
everything is about a dollar. Everything is about a coin. So I mean, we don't know. You know, as far as like Lydia said, it's not about the celebrity. It's more about the message. Right. You know, the message that's being given, that's being sent, that everyone may be receiving. Because you know, if Kirk Franklin was to get and give us a modern day gospel WAP, it still may not reach 10 million views on YouTube, but that doesn't mean it hasn't reached 10 million people.
Right.
That's true. You know, so it's like, you know, that's just like with Instagram likes and things of that nature. You know, we'll look at somebody else's like, oh my gosh, this has 4 million likes, and this work over here is a higher quality. It looks better. It's and it only has 8 likes. Like what? Like the ratio on things is off.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad because we'll go and like things. How many times have you caught yourself liking a picture or just liking stuff because you're on Instagram?
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily because, oh God, I like that or I want to try it. It's just like, you know,
it's just for the like.
Right. Exactly. and then you have to think about this too, guys. When you look at a video like WAP, okay, and this is my last thing about WAP. I'm whapped out.
I'm whapped out already. Me too. Right.
But when you think about WAP, okay, there are perverted people out there, and this is with anything. You have sex. Sex is, as I think somebody says, sex sells, right? WAP is a free, almost pornographic video. Okay. There's somebody that's pleasuring themselves to that video. I'm sorry to be graphic, but it's happening, okay? They're almost naked. And if when I was a kid, and I'm sure most men did it, we're keeping the 100. You would look in the little JCPenney magazine and go to the bra section, okay, and that would be your excitement because you didn't have access to the internet, okay. I'm just keeping it real.
You said JCPenney.
JCPenney, Macy's, Sears,
not the old catalog book.
You would go and you would see those comb bras and think, "Oh my gosh, I'm in heaven."
You didn't even say
the holiday catalog.
You didn't even say the Jet Beauty of the Week. You went to a catalog.
Yeah, what happened to Jet? Like,
Jet too.
Okay, now okay. I can relate to Jet in essence. Okay.
Speak for yourself on that. I never used a catalog.
Look,
I'm just saying, sex sells. Listen, sex sells, and it's at everybody's fingertip. Okay, that's the
very
big
true. It's so mainstream.
Problem. You could just type anything in Google. Yeah, you could type anything in Google, and it's just gonna come up. You know what I'm saying? You could see anything. If someone releases a sex tape, like there's, by now wrestling fans, the wrestler Paige, she was doing sexual acts with some wrestlers. You can type that in Paige sex tape, and it's gonna come up a whole bunch of websites. It's right there. That's just the world. That's the world we live in.
I went on the internet and found it. Like, oh, there it is.
That's the world we live in. And that's the problem. That's why a video like WAP can get 310 million views. And then if someone actually does something positive, if a 12-year-old girl graduates college, African-American 12-year-old girl graduates college, and there's a story on it, that video is not going to get nothing. It's like it's not going to get a million. It might get over 100,000 maybe, depending. But that's just the world we live in, guys. That's it's sad, but that's what it is.
The evil has become good and the good has become bad. People don't want to search for what for the good no more. They want to search for things that, whatever they flesh is calling upon to see. Mm-hmm. That's what they're going to go searching for.
The Bible talks about that. Whatever was considered evil will be considered good. It's just
it's a whole flip
going on now.
It's a whole
get me off now. Get me off.
In real life.
Like it was written before we realized.
In real life, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was written out before we realized, before we ever even thought about having these type of discussions.
Yeah.
This stuff has been going on for so long, but for a long time we just didn't know it.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's being amplified as time keeps going.
Right.
It's like
everything.
Yeah.
A lot of things were
like,
definitely good.
Now that we are adults and we understand this nature, how are we protecting our youth? How are we being that mentor to protect their mindset and their innocence? What are we doing better?
That's true.
You understand? Because we gotta ask ourselves that.
That's true.
It seems like the only thing you can do is turn the TV off, because even kiddie shows have certain things in there that they shouldn't look at. Mm-hmm. I can't recall, like when I was a kid, I know there were certain movies I shouldn't watch, but if my parents said it was okay, we're watching. But cartoons, there were certain cartoons that I would look at and say, okay, there's nothing going on. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks, there was nothing nasty in there that I know of. Maybe I should look back now and see. But the cartoons that are out now, some of these things is like,
for example, Toy Story.
Doing in there.
Toy Story. You never would realize the sexually explicit things inside the movie Toy Story until you're like in your 30s, sitting there like.
It's a lot of subliminal stuff in kids' movies that don't pay attention to when we young. Then when we go back and watch.
And first of all, there's a hooker in Toy Story.
Thank you.
There's a hooker in Toy Story.
Let's talk about SpongeBob Person, okay?
Oh my gosh, let's not get
SpongeBob is a whole.
I can't talk about.
It's a lot of things.
It's so much
now.
It's so much.
Like.
Wait, speaking of Toy Story, before you go to SpongeBob, speaking of Toy Story, I was watching it yesterday, and I didn't even realize that Mr. Potato Head, his wife, I think it was the second one, no, the third one, they snatched her mouth off, and Mr. Potato Head says, "Nobody takes my wife's mouth but me."
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right. That's
And
like,
then-
wait, that does
And
not.
then how about when the pig fell and all his coins shot out and he was like, "Oh, everybody, turn your head. I'm naked," or something like that. He said, "I was like, really?" Because his cork had
it's
popped
a
out.
lot.
Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Has anybody saw that movie Sausage Party?
But that was
That's
for kids.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
That
but-
was for kids.
Yeah, but it's like that's like supposed to be a kid movie, but it's not. It's,
No,
just, like,
that-
it's
that-
weird.
that
No
movie
one
was
told
rated
me
R.
about it.
That movie was rated R.
I didn't think that was a kid's movie. I think
And
like when it
it-
came on, it said like
People
sexually
is probably
explicit.
assume it was a kids movie because
Yeah.
I assumed
that
it was.
you know-
Right now,
I
the
did. It was
animation
definitely
would have
for
made you believe
Exactly.
it was a kid.
The animation
I
alone
sat
made
and
it seem
started
like this is
watching
going to
the
be.
movie, and I was just like,
Right.
okay, hold up. now, okay.
But you see the underlying message in that movie. The
food
underlying
porn.
message in that was like,
It was food porn. That was just it was just like how they describe food porn with different. It was ridiculous. I was just like, really?
Well, you
Y'all
know,
really
they
put this in a
also
movie theater?
give
and I'm
these
not-
little kid actors to these 12-year-old,
Yes.
11-year-old actors to play out these rape roles and things of these natures in these movies, and it's like you're subjecting that child to something that is far beyond anything that movie is depicting it to be, because if it was to happen in real life, you wouldn't be able to talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Exactly. There was a story that a school, like a teacher took her class to see the movie, and she must have watched one of the soft trailers where they didn't show anything that was bad, and she thought, oh, this would be a cute movie to take the kids. She took a whole school class to see the movie. When it got to the I guess the first thing that I guess one of the hot dogs got killed, chopped up or whatever. She had to like get those kids out of there quick.
Yeah.
It,
Like, oh my
it took the hot dog getting chopped. What about the cursing?
Yeah.
That too.
Period.
I mean, this is what we do with our food anyway, so I find that funny. But when you take your kids and it's like you got a hot dog, cursing out a bun, and not just saying damn, we're talking about F words and
Right.
using the B word and all this stuff. It's like, oh no, we got to go. This is not our entertainment. This is something completely. This is not DreamWorks.
Yeah.
This is something completely different. We got to go.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Hey, we have a question. I just don't want to forget everybody. Sean is still here. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good
Because when it comes to wrongdoing these days, young people are bright. They are quick to compare and ask, well, if this one thing is wrong and it being discussed, why are we not bringing this, that, and the other wrong things to the forefront? They have a point. So how do we then address that? Yikes.
Well, I will say kids are more advanced as far as like I feel like kids are learning way quicker nowadays. Like I feel like you could give a 1-year-old a phone right now, an iPhone right now, and they could probably figure out how to use it, like just to do something simple.
My son can get to YouTube on my phone, so she's right. He's one.
Yeah.
So I just feel like kids like are more advanced. So to me, it's easy. And that's where it comes as far as the environment that they live in. Because it's going to be you as a parent to lead by example. Like no one's.
Oh, Sean agreed with me. I like it. Sorry.
Yes.
Somebody finally agrees with me. I have to get excited.
Yes, because that's very true. Because if I take my phone from my son and stop him from like YouTubing and like thinking he knows how to work a phone at his young age, I take it from him. I'm like, no, you don't need a phone. You have plenty of toys, blocks, or what's going to stimulate your brain. Like, those are the things that I'll try to give him instead of my phone. And he'll like get an attitude. I'm personally, I don't care, but I know in other situations, when I'm not there, he'll overpower and have the phone. So it's like, okay, at the end of the day, you have to, set rules outside of your actual rules at home too.
Absolutely. I agree.
I had to turn
that.
YouTube
It's
off.
like the potential for kids. They are more advanced in our generation now, but at the same time, they're dumbing them down by the craziness that they gotta see nowadays.
Yeah.
Everything, anything, like
It's
yo,
so
like
out
like it's so much stuff that I literally have to stop my daughter from watching. And it might not seem to some people that is bad, but it's a lot of sorcery, witchery, like
Every
witchcraft.
Disney movie has a witch
animated
or a
movie.
spirit
I'm
in
like,
it.
I gotta be careful, like I said. I gotta be careful what she watch, because
Amen.
it's no telling what she's letting in. Like the other day, she was watching Peppa Pig, and it was literally like Peppa Pig, like gone mad, gone evil, like running away from like this scary looking.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Like it was crazy.
No,
like,
please
and
don't
as
get
I
me started.
scrolled up, it was
Please don't
like
get me started.
Dora, like evil Dora. It was crazy. Y'all go on YouTube
Oh,
and look at evil Dora. That's what's coming up on kids' timelines on
Right.
YouTube. Like,
Don't
and
get me- don't get me
what's crazy
started.
is that's on YouTube Kids. It's all
And,
on
and,
YouTube Kids.
that's my point. They're trying to attack the kids at a young age because they adapt. They are quicker learners now. Like, I think in California they're trying to pass a law where a kid can decide if they want to have a sex with the adult.
Yeah, at 12.
I'm sorry, at 12, 11, 12
What
years
does a
old.
12-year-old know about their body to be giving it
Not
away?
nothing. They just developing. They are just
It's a whole
girl,
agenda.
A young girl is just developing in her own body. She don't know nothing about making decisions about
and sex is so unhealthy for a unmature brain.
Yeah,
it's so like sex is so like it can damage a small undeveloped brain.
Yes, that's
like
true.
let's for example, music. It's like has so much sex in it. It's like damaging all these brains out here.
Yeah.
That's why I thank God my sister 11.
Yeah.
She don't know who Beyonce is.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
I just want to be happy on that.
Seriously.
I want to say if it's not
no business knowing who she is.
Right. If what's the Kids Bop? If it's not on Kids Bop and the original singer, she be like that's not Kids Bop. That's not the real singer. I'm sorry. She believes Kids Bop make everything. That's what she believes, and I thank God. Because she don't know who Beyonce is, she don't know who Cardi B is, she don't know who she for all I know, she really don't even know who the rappers are. She know who Michael Jackson is, I'll give you that much. But she don't know nothing if it's not on Kids Bop. Kids Bop don't sing it, she don't know who they are. So
and people might tell you, well, she shouldn't know who Jackson is either. No, well, yes, she should. Jackson was a genius. Jackson is the greatest. We gonna. My son know Mike. Okay.
He used his brain for a lot of things.
My son will not watch Thriller though. He will not watch Thriller. Okay. I'm sorry. I tested him out when he was 1. And
Thriller was a little scary.
The minute his eyes went yellow, my son was out. Okay. So.
But I mean, it's to what you bring around and what you let kids have access to, because I play old music around her. I'm like, shoot, Patty. I love me some Patty.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, Aretha? Yep, she could listen to that.
I play the old stuff.
Yeah, I play it all up in the house, But she ain't listening to no back that up.
No.
Funkin' Love. She don't know none of that.
And yeah. What Kenya said earlier, you talk about. I know exactly what you're talking about with that Peppa Pig thing.
Yeah.
I saw that myself right on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube Kids.
Around with a knife.
Yes.
And so I'm like, wait. First of all, I don't even like Peppa Pig as it is. I can't stand her. Okay. No, Peppa Pig is rude. Okay.
Yeah,
she's mad rude. Okay, when my son was 3,
she doesn't know how to lose. She's a sorry sport.
Man, it's selfish. Yeah. Don't like losing. She talked back. One time I told my son to do something. He gonna say to me one day, "Naughty daddy." I said, "Boy, get me with that naughty daddy crap." And then he watching her on YouTube running around chasing somebody with a knife. He's about, and he like, look, it's evil Pepper. I said, what the hell is evil Pepper? I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And you got like I said, evil Dora, evil Sonic. I'm like, no. I had to take YouTube off. I was like, no YouTube, and I watch YouTube myself.
And then speaking about right, speaking of YouTube, this is something that would come on the screen, and everybody, please brace yourselves, okay? But this is what kids, okay, this will come on kids' screens just out of the blue.
Oh yeah,
Yes. That thing.
Is that the one that was telling them that if they tell their parents that they were gonna pop up and she was gonna kill them or something?
Yeah. It's called the Momo Challenge.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
it's crazy.
YouTube got rid of that video, but yes, she was telling kids to kill themselves, to put themselves in the oven, to do all of that crazy.
There was a lot of subliminal stuff in between of the video that would capture kids' attention to like pursue them to do things and not tell their parents. And
that you have to also think this is also now in today's music. You know, that is something that's new to me. I've never heard music of people like being depressed and feeling suicidal and wanting to kill themselves and things like that. And they are getting Billboard #1 hits, Grammy winning artists. Like, how is this music even being able to be distributed?
But that's my whole point. Is that agenda. Look what like 2020, people are literally dealing with mental illness. As far as they are dealing with mental illness, creating a mental illness, depression, suicide. Like, I can't go outside. Like, people they pick up old habits.
A lot of people are hurt.
Like the liquor store was open during quarantine, so y'all just added on to the habit. Like, you're creating more. That leaves opening for
owned by the government,
spiritual.
Of course, that's their way of keeping people in bondage. That's the way of keeping people, down.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking of what Will was saying. Like, he said, music about depression, that's #1 hits. But I'm just like, people are listening to that. Like, they're
really riding around. Like, oh my gosh, I should try it. Like, I should. Like,
they
no,
make
it's not cool to feel that way. You know, it's not something that's a cool thing. It's not a good feeling. I don't think real people that have truly felt as if they were suicidal and wanted to kill themselves felt like they wanted to make a song about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like not saying that their feelings weren't real, but you know what I'm trying to say is when someone really is suicidal, what happens? They kill themselves. Like, they don't make music about it. They don't write notes. They don't keep saying it. Like, it just happens. So it's like, wow, like you didn't even know that person felt that way or that person was going through that.
Yeah.
And it's like now
to do it.
Right. It's like now you want to, it's like to me, it's like a gimmick. Like, they want you to make you feel bad for them. So you listen to the music, you buy it. So then you start feeling like them. And it's like, but do you even feel that way? Because you're out in clubs every night in the blogs and tabloids, like, you know, so you're portraying one thing to these kids or to these people buying your music, and in reality that's not what you may not even have that going on.
Manipulating the situation in their favor.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything is all spiritual. People don't understand like that energy, that transfer of energy is real. You gotta be careful who touches you. You gotta be careful who pray over you. You gotta be careful who you walking with. Like, it is really a spiritual battle. And I feel like people keep on forgetting. Churches are not open right now. Like, let's talk about that. Churches are not open right now.
But everything else is
fear of COVID-19.
Yes.
So if we are not coming together as Christians and being like, I don't think, even I said people with the churches being closed, I'm like, are people still at home praying? Are they still knowing like their source? Are they really like trying to walk in the spirit?
I hope people understand that
COVID-19. So I don't think people. It's really a spiritual battle, and like the more, like I said, this, and I'm just speaking on me personally, and this is me talking with my spiritual growth. I'm just being more aware of like what's going on, because it's really a spiritual battle out here. Like, it talks about it in the Bible, it talks about it in Revelation. Like, this is a serious thing right now. Like, it's not a game.
It really is. It
Don
really is.
said, what you guys and many others are doing is a huge part of the recognition and healing process in these things. God bless the platform.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sean.
Don.
Thank you.
I received that.
Yes.
For real, for real.
But I definitely agree all the way with Lyd.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much going on with, you know, people not being like, for me, for instance, my church is closed. And, you know, I even told my mom, like, you know, now it's been since the pandemic started, even until now.
Almost a year.
Now, almost a year without
The whole
having
year.
to physically be in a church setting with people in their, you know, spiritual relationship with God. Everyone is on different levels.
Right.
So when they're sitting at home, who are they being able to talk to? Who do they have in a circle to still be praying with them? Who do they have in them to help give them a word through the week to keep leaning on? You understand?
Right.
And I do thank God for my mother.
Yeah.
And that we do have each other as well. And even her, she went out and started going out with different ministries and continuing to do her work for the Lord. And it just shows you that even during this time, you got to understand God placed certain people to be around other ministries and in other people's lives for a reason, to grow them to where he wants them to be and to speak his word. You don't know where God wants you. You're not under the impression of your own understanding when it comes to everything going on right now. So right now, this is a push and a growth session. I want to just say that because I went through a lot this 2020, y'all. So, you know,
I feel like we all have, though.
Yeah,
like,
it's been
their own personal journey.
Right. It's been to that point where you have to be very, very lenient into building that relationship with God even more, and looking at yourself and reflecting and understanding what's in his word. Because if you're not, everybody's just gonna keep on falling short and walking blindly.
Yes.
You know, God didn't give us the spirit of fear, y'all.
He didn't.
So, I mean, y'all scared of what? What you scared of? Because
that's what I'm saying.
You gotta break that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like churches, this is when churches should be opening up. Churches should still be open. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all should still be coming together praying at a time like this.
Yeah.
Like I just like at a time like this.
This is the time.
These are all the signs of revelation.
Stop.
At a time like this.
Yeah.
Why are we not praying?
Oh, the Bible says that we are supposed to abide by the laws of this land. But do you really?
Yeah. You got
and this law come on now.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. You got people out here
you
that's
gonna abide by the worldly laws, or you gonna abide by God's law?
I know somebody out there, I'm not gonna mention his name, but somebody out there said your church should be open. And he said all churches need to be open, and he said if you want to open your church, go right ahead. When that person said it, the saints turned on him.
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid. Why would he say something like that?
No.
But see the programming, the fear.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Fear is real. Like it's real out here. And I'm like,
in the beginning, when they shut down churches, everybody was pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh, they shut down my church. The minute somebody says this isn't right, freedom of religion, your church should be open. If you want to open it, go right ahead. Just follow your, distancing and all that. But open your church doors. Is he insane? Why would we do that? Now, forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all straight up programmed on that.
And you got to look at this moment too of how many people is led away from the church too right now, who was always going to church, who was continually being in the ministry, who always being in church, and now not being able to be there, who's probably walked away. Who knows what the next year is going to bring. Mm-hmm. And now people that's going to probably open their churches back is going to see a lot of few numbers in their church and what they're coming back to.
Exactly, because people right now are used to virtual church. So
Yep.
when the
Right.
church actually fully opens, there will be some churches that will probably stay virtual for a long time, and those other people are going to just watch virtual church. I'm currently working for
There were churches that were virtual before this, and that
yeah,
was like what some of only some people did that. So I mean, I don't think they're because we're not able to go in the actual building right now that for the real people that it's going to lose your faith in the Lord or misguide you to be somewhere. But if you're not buried in that faith, if you're not rooted in him and you don't have that seed already there, of course you're going to stray off. I mean,
Yeah.
of course it's going to be much easier for you to stray off. And
Yeah.
God is everywhere. He's not just in church. And
That's so
my
true.
thing is,
That's
I have
true.
to carry him everywhere with me, because if I think he's just at church, that's where I'm just going to receive what he has for me, and I want to receive it in every setting that I'm in. You know?
Exactly. That's
Okay,
true.
can I play on what Will said? Because I agree with you, but I feel like as Christians with this virtual church, they become complacent, comfortable. Like when you go to church, I get what you're saying, but when you worship in the spirit, amongst the spirit with other Christians, do you know how to amplify without like?
No.
It's about energy.
Yes, that
People
gives
understand that you can't get
like,
that same feeling at
seeing
home.
praise and
You
worship.
can get it at home within yourself when you do it within yourself, but it's different if I'm talking to Kenya, or even when me, you, Kenya, and Christina, had our talks. Like, there's been times where we were talking in the spirit.
Yeah.
God was amongst us. We can't explain it. It's a different
and
feeling.
you know why we can't explain it? Because his spirit is already in us. We don't have to have others. Like I get what
you're saying, but I'm saying in this time, right now in this time, with COVID-19 planting this seed, the seed is not. It's beyond. It's a tree. It's a full blown tree now.
Yeah.
As Christians, we need to start chopping it down because we have to come together. Forget about this virtual church.
Yeah.
We need to come together as one in the spirit.
Yes.
But it's hard to go against all these man-made rules and all these man-made diseases and all these things that they're trying to use to keep us in bondage. The Lord, we may know that we're not in bondage because we're free, because we belong to the Lord or what have you. We know what we believe in and what we have going on, but at the same time, it's as if, okay, but he really did. Somebody really did make COVID-19, and it really is affecting and taking people out, and it really did like break out in churches and stuff. So it's like, do we play safe and stay at home and worship, or do we step out?
About the clubs being open.
Wait! I have a question.
Y'all gonna keep the clubs
for
open?
The comments, and this is for the panel. And I'm gonna get to the.
I just seen one. Take it back to Rhonda Cummings. Atheist. Yeah. She had something she got to say. Yes. She did have a comment. Rhonda Cummings, atheist.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
He said, but he said not the gathering of the saints. And that's I'm gonna speak on that because I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go in the Old Testament. Let's go to Sodom and Gomorrah. We're beyond Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Abraham asked God. Remember, Abraham had a deep relationship with God. I'm trying to be at that point where God comes sit down with me. Like, okay, Lord. What you say, Lord? I want that kind of favor. With Abraham asked God, if you find 100 people, I'm not gonna say like the exact numbers because I don't have my word in front of me, but I'm just gonna say, if you find 100 people, Lord, would you save Sodom and Gomorrah? If you find 50 people, Lord, would you save Sodom and Gomorrah? God kept saying yes. Okay, Lord, if you find 10 people that are righteous in Sodom and Gomorrah, would you save him? They couldn't even find one person. God only saved his family, Abraham's family, Lot, based off of Abraham being obedient. So
Right.
as saints, as Christians, if we come together, you don't think this COVID-19 would disappear? The fear would just go away? You don't think things would just turn
I
around?
think that's
Like,
what
you
I
have to
think
have
that's
faith
what
and
was
believe.
happening in the beginning. Because if you remember, the numbers are just outrageous now. They were nothing like what they are
The
now.
numbers
Like back
aren't
during the
real.
How you
summer
know
when
if that's
The
churches
numbers
were
aren't
still
real.
open, and
Well,
you
but
know,
how do you know if the numbers are real though? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right,
there's
but
fake news,
there's fake
and then
news
there's the
and
truth.
there's real news,
There's
and we
fake
don't
news,
know if they're real and we don't know if they're fake. So
and
what should we do?
but
Just
that's my
act like
whole
we don't know
point.
anything?
But you're giving me. That's what I'm saying. You're giving me like the news is saying all these numbers, but I don't even pay attention to the news because
I mean,
to me,
I
I don't
don't
believe
know.
anything
Like,
they say.
I
I
don't
can't
know.
believe anything they say anymore.
I don't know what the numbers like are, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you don't even have to be paying attention to it or looking for it, and you'll hear it. Like, oh, numbers are spiking and this, that, and the third.
Right.
And there's always some type of news announcements, TV getting shut off, something coming across the radio. Like, you know, not anything that we're necessarily looking for, but fake news, real news.
But that's just them
It's
planting
something
fear
in
that
between
they
both
want
of
to
them
have
that we
control.
should take heed to, because, you know, we have to pay attention to something.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. I know how I feel about it, but
I mean, I want you to speak how you feel.
I know. I said I already spoke how I feel. I said, to me, I can't look at the news. I can't go on, because to me they're trying to put fear in people's heart. That's how they're trying to keep control. That's how they're able to still do these curfews. That's how churches are still able to be closed to this day. Like, it's beyond, to me, it's beyond that. So I don't walk with that mentality like, oh, the numbers are high. Oh, okay. I don't walk like, oh, I need, oh, this. Oh, I don't think that. I already do practice sanitation. I was taught that growing up, doing that. Like, I was already taught this. So I'm just saying, that me, I can't. It's like, to me, they're trying to continue that fear.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't understand where hand washing became something on the news. Like,
right.
Like,
You know,
that's something I was taught
I
as a
understand
child.
where you're
like,
coming
you gotta
from, but
teach
just
me how to
look,
wash my
Liddy,
hands.
how many people, so-called people, apparently weren't taught how to wash their hands.
Okay, but my whole point is what
So
they
it's
say.
like,
Okay,
like,
but
yeah,
what
we
I'm
know
saying
how,
is
like,
everything.
we could just do what we have to do, and I feel like part of us doing what we have to do, we have to, like, just, you know, be cautious about something, because it is a disease out here that was made, and it is affecting people. So we don't, like, of course you can tell we're washing our hands, we're doing what we need to do. I don't think any of us have had it. Like, so, you know, like, I think we know, like, how to stay clear of it, but at the same time, it's like, it's so much going on. People, you don't know if someone does have it or if they don't have it, or who has it, or, like, you know, you really just don't know. So, like, you could be sitting beside someone that potentially has it.
But see, what I'm trying to explain to you, I don't go out there on a daily basis like, oh, I'm gonna be next to someone with COVID. No, I don't think like that. Like, I can't.
Okay, so for example,
I can't think. What I'm trying to explain to you, I know I am a child of God. I know that I am covered in the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
I know at the end of the day, I'm gonna go
but
about
don't
this
you
day
think there
talking
were
to
other
him.
people that
I'm
caught
gonna go
COVID
about
that
this
said
day.
the same thing?
Excuse me?
Don't you think there were other people that caught COVID that said that same exact thing? I'm a child of God, and I know He has me covered. I'm pretty sure out of all the people that have had it, you know, like,
I'm not saying this pandemic is not real. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying this pandemic is real. I'm telling you how I'm going about it.
Right. But you know the thing
that I'm following. I know me personally. I follow protocol as far as me washing my hands, the masking. I do it if it's required. But to me, the masking is just breaking down your immune system, because I'm breathing in carbon dioxide. So it's automatic. I'm already breathing toxins. So it's already telling me.
Like, I swear that mask was making my nose more stuffed up and making me feel like my head is all boggled up and everything. It's like the mask.
That's what I'm saying. So when it comes to the masking, I think to me it's irrelevant. I hate to be so real or blunt about it, but it's just, to me, I can't live my day to day in fear.
And it's not about
Right.
living in fear because of the
It
simple
is
fact,
living in fear because you're saying, well, you saying to me, like, don't you think other people said the same thing or people who got
but that's
COVID?
not living in fear. It's trying to be knowledgeable of what's going on around you, because I go to work every day, just like, we all go to work every day. And just the other day, we had a client come in the salon and they lied on their paperwork. They lied on everything. And then their test came back positive. So that put everybody that was at the salon that day in jeopardy, us in jeopardy, our families in jeopardy. And it's like, okay, is it a fake test? Is it a real test? Who has time to decide that when you have to worry about if your family's protected?
But well, listen,
I
think hold up. Well, I think where she's coming from, just to clarify, it's all in how you look at it, is what I feel like. Because like it's like that for me too. Like, say I'm going to work, right? I'm exposing myself every day, or like I could be around amongst people that have it. You know what I'm saying? But if I am a believer of God and my faith is put in Him, I'm not gonna live my day to day in fear of what if I'm going to get the virus, if I'm gonna get sick. I'm not gonna live my day to day like that. Of course, yeah, we gotta take proper precautions, yeah, because
right. That's all I'm saying.
People.
Is it's not about fear; it's more about precaution.
Right. Okay. So regardless, we have to, we're taking precautions. But I think for Lydia, for her, is like, you know what? I don't care. To me, she's like, the news don't really matter to her. The masks don't really matter to her because it's all an agenda, and she sees that. So, and that's how, and I'm just saying this because I feel the exact same way. Like, I mean, that's it.
Like,
really,
there's no doubt there's
like
an agenda.
Though, but
there's definitely an agenda out there. They don't push this vaccine out in 3-4 months, and it's like, seriously, like there's diseases that have killed way more people.
Yes, but
and they've been killing people longer, and y'all didn't make anything about that. Like, y'all haven't done anything about that, So I do feel the agenda pushing and the medicine pushing, and everything is going to start to be ran like a corporation, and everything it's all about money. And the more people that they can say has this, the more they can get the disease out, the medicine for the disease out, or the virus, and the more money that the people in the upper chair can make.
All of them, yeah. Facts. It's all about the money at the end of the day. Like, that's what it is. Our lives are not important to these people. Our lives is just like, they see our lives. Okay, guess what? Doctors, if them freaking emergency rooms start clearing out, guess what? They gonna find a way to get us sick. Best believe that, because they running out of money.
And that's why cigarette sales have never. That's why cigarettes have never stopped.
Ever.
They should have been done. Stop
Ever.
People from smoking. Smoking should be just as bad as COVID, okay? But they never stopped that. They never said, well, if you're around people that smoke, wear a mask. It never happened because it's all about the dollar.
Exactly. Like, and even like Lydia was talking about, like, how the liquor store is still open. Like, that's still like, really? Like, y'all close churches,
close the church,
y'all won't close the club, y'all won't close the ABC store.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, we have to choose, like this comment says up here, faith without work is dead. We have to choose to, put our faith and our work into making sure we don't put ourselves into a situation that we don't know, that we may not know the outcome of. It's that, I don't know. It's difficult. It's so difficult because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I feel as if I believe in God, and I know for a fact He's had me covered. We've all had testimonies and situations where we've seen Him bring us through. So it's like that to me isn't the question. To me, the question is, are people catching it because they're not being precautious, and they're thinking like, I know Lydia's precautious because we do a lot of things together. So I'm not necessarily saying this to her, but I'm saying, like, are people actually thinking they want me to be scared, so I'm going to go out without a mask? Because if that's the case, then you could potentially be hurting yourself.
Exactly. And Sean says, right, go to church, but you can't overcrowd them or not even or not use PPE precautions. But as we know, when it gets crazy, people get comfortable, and that's when it gets messy. And I'll use this for an example, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump rallies. Okay. Now, if you're going to church, yes, social distance, do it properly. Make sure you have that sanitizer in the church. Make sure everybody's 6 feet apart. Nobody should be having a big conference with 10,000 people in it. Like TD Jakes, he's at the church still, but he only has staff there. Okay. But when you see a Donald Trump rally, for an example,
Everybody is amongst each other.
everybody's there. Nobody's
Nobody got a
wearing a
mask
mask.
on.
People are
on
dying.
each other's backs.
You know what I'm saying?
Today,
Yeah.
I was in the dollar store, and the whole thing is they have it marked which way you come in and which way you go out. I mean, I'm not really in fear of catching it, but respect the social distancing and don't come in walking through the entrance and I'm trying to walk out and you're walking where I'm walking. Like, come on, like, and then when I look at you, like, are you gonna like just walk right in front of me? Like, what are you looking at? Give me my 6 feet. Like, please, I don't know what you're carrying. You don't know what I'm carrying. So to protect both of us, give me my 6 feet. I'll give you yours. You give me mine.
I'm not even worried about the 6 feet.
I'm not. Listen, that's what I'm saying. It's all in how you see it. It's all in how you see it. Like, I could look at it a different way. You look at it a different way. Brian does. Yeah. Lydia does. Sade does. Or excuse me, Christina do. But everybody do. Like, but that's why we all
Christina
saying how we pray.
When I go to Walmart or something, people.
I just don't like strangers all up on me anyway. So I need my.
Thank you. Like, that's my thing. This is my space.
Well, we've always been like that way before all this happened.
Yeah, like
so
I
always want my personal space, but
I don't need you up close to me.
I'm not gonna force you to give me my space because of what's going on. Like I can be in Walmart and sometimes if I'm looking at something on the shelf, somebody will wait until I move, and I'm like, look, come on up, get what you gotta get, man. Like it's cool. Mm-hmm. And I think when I say that, they're like, oh, all right, so you're okay with me being right. Yeah, if you're just grabbing something off the shelf, just grab it and go. I don't think I'm gonna
like if it's a smooth, quick transaction, but like
yeah,
like
I remember it all close to me, and you all up on there.
I mean,
I really remember being in high school, getting into like arguments with a girl that used to sit in front of me because she used to say I was always breathing on her. And I'm like, well, I didn't put the desk here. The teacher has the desk like this. I can't help that I'm like 6'1" in this little desk and I'm like leaned all over sitting like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't recline the desk. And she would literally be like, why are you always breathing on me? And I'm like, okay.
Seems like she must have liked you or something.
I don't know.
I just look at some of the common sense though of everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we go through the comments?
Oh no, I said common sense.
Oh.
Comments.
Just a quick example, like I flew down to Florida. I went to Disney World during all this because they had rules that Disney World put out there, and they said you have to come in there with a mask. Your temperature can't be this. Fine, but according to what they say, you can have it and not know. You don't have to have a high temperature to have it. Right. But yet in Disney World, they give you certain spots where you can actually sit down and take your mask off and breathe, or even go indoors where it's crazy cold AC, which was great. Take your mask off with other people and breathe in the same air. So I'm like, okay, you're giving us that because it's hot out, but technically, isn't this not safe? But it's okay to get people to come to the park. So
all about it, dollar.
You're getting that money to people to come to the park. So is it really? And like I think I said it in the comments one time when y'all was talking about it. I said I have not yet heard not one person of being sick in Disney World, but yet I heard about people being sick when they went to church. The whole church was crowded. Everybody caught COVID. I heard that, but I haven't heard nothing about Disney World.
Yes,
Or
and is it because they're not checking temperatures or they're not seeing if anyone is coming in with like is this stuff even real? I mean, it's stuff I practice, and it's like, am I practicing something that I really believe in, or am I practicing something so that if the state comes in, I can have proof of what I'm actually doing?
Exactly.
I need proof of what you're doing. Like, I'm practicing
Right, because like,
stuff.
okay, because they'll be like, okay, have you checked the temperature on your last 10 clients? Oh yeah, I did. Oh, let me see the paperwork for that. Oh, yeah, okay. So I mean, I don't understand a lot of it, and I just try to like.
All right, thank you, Apostle.
Okay, it won't.
Thank you, Apostle.
It won't though. It won't. Yeah.
No.
I mean, because a lot of people haven't been saved from it. A lot of people haven't been saved from this new stuff that they. I mean,
the 6 feet is rather annoying to me.
Is.
Just because everybody is so afraid.
There's a lot of comments.
Exactly.
I want to see the comments real quick. Wow. Yeah, I want to see. Go to the comments. It's a lot more. I don't know.
Wait, no. Listen, people put into back of cold trucks and slab guys. So it ain't about God just blessing us to not get sick of the pandemic, but about not putting other people in danger as well. If your body is
asymptomatic.
Okay, it doesn't mean everybody that you encounter will be able to fight it. Will be able to fight it like yours. That's true. So the deepest of precautions are just as necessary to our God as our fellowship.
Amen.
Both can be accomplished.
Amen. Amen. I do believe both can be accomplished. I do believe that, you know, it's things that like discussions like this that will be able to bring things together.
Let's not go.
Me personally, I believe I already had it way before it was even called COVID. I had it.
Seriously. Then
I got wild sick back in February. Crazy. I went to the doctor and they tested it and said, "Oh, you have type B flu." Crazy. And all the symptoms that they said was COVID as time went on is exactly what I had, except I didn't lose sense of taste. But when I tell people this, they say, "Oh, were you tested for COVID?" I was like, "It was back in February. There was no name for it. All I know is I was crazy sick. Like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do that. And when I couldn't breathe, my natural reaction was sit up. I can't lay down if I can't breathe. I have to sit up. I have to stand up. I have to, kind of, get
be
that
with the flow of air.
Yeah, you can't get that flow of air when you're laying down.
Exactly, that's true.
And when a lot of these people went into the hospital and they say they're having trouble breathing, they're not letting them get up. They're not letting them sit up. They're making them stay in the bed, and then they're putting them on ventilators.
I always thought that like movement was good for the body and good for like your lungs and things. If you're having lung failure or something, aren't you supposed to be trying to breathe? And
that's what I thought. You should be like trying to move and at least.
I don't have a MD, y'all.
We have to talk about ventilators. So, since you brought up ventilators, studies showed that ventilators were actually dangerous. The ventilators actually killed all the people that were on the ventilator.
Yep.
If they never would have been put on the ventilator, they would not have died.
Would be here. Yeah.
Wow.
The ventilator takes over your breathing, so you're not breathing naturally.
So like it, which is so true when everyone says it's fake news, because there really is fake news being pushed out on us, being pushed upon us as we need to believe it and we need to follow this and we need to live by it, which is so not true. There really is fake stuff being pushed on us, like
Well, you saw what they did. They on ABC pushed out the wrong hospital. Talking about this is a hospital in New York. That was a hospital in Italy. And when they caught it, they said, "Oh, we're sorry, we gave the wrong info." So you didn't get the wrong info. You tried to scare us over here by showing a crowded hospital over there.
And somebody called it out.
In New York, we're saying the hospitals weren't even that packed.
Somebody called it out.
Yeah. When you get called out, it's like, okay, we got to fix this. We're sorry, we aired the wrong footage, but I still haven't seen crazy hospital situations in New York, like how they said.
You know, and we talked about like traveling, like during the summer. I traveled to Florida. They had social distancing set up on the beach. Like, I mean, went in restaurants, like 2 of them, social distancing was set up there. I mean, you know, so I feel like back then, before they started adding on to the fake news, it wasn't as bad as it is now. It's like people have really looked at everything they're saying and like, oh, don't, the hell with it. People are still getting sick and dying, and it's like everybody's being subjected to, if it even is COVID, but you know, we're being subjected to something. Folks are constantly getting sick, and it's like, what is it really? Who has the power to go in these hospitals and see how these folks really died? Who holds that power? Who has that key to that cabinet and can open those books?
Definitely not us.
Right.
And it's like, do we want to be?
We just got to do it. Whatever we see on TV is all we know.
Yeah.
Well, not all that we know. What they want us to know. Some of us know better.
I mean, but it's crazy because I've even gotten to the point where now I'll literally fuss at my 13-year-old daughter, like, you're leaving out the house without hand sanitizer and a mask. And then I get in the car and I'm like, even though I know I have some in the car, I just want her to be prepared, like, because you never know what you're walking into. Like, is that fear or being precautious?
Well, and you know what? You have to realize, even when you go to work, I worked at a call center before, and people would go to the bathroom and just
wash their hands.
Number 2, right out, and there's only one door to go back into the main floor. So everybody got to touch that same doorknob. So there's still nasty people out there like that during COVID. So yeah, we have to be precautious, even to get just not to have germs in general. You know, it's not just about COVID, but even the regular germs out there too.
Like before all this, I don't allow no one to walk in my house with shoes on, because you know I have a baby. He lays on the floor, he runs and rolls around, and not because of COVID, but because you know it's just dirt on the bottom of your shoes walking around.
Yeah, that's common sense. That's
like
common
so
sense.
You know, like, is that a precaution or is that now a new fear that I have of, like, because I make sure now I look at everybody like, okay, no shoes.
That's when you come visit you, they need to make sure they got clean socks on.
Right. Look, you can have your feet out. I don't care. Like, just don't walk around with you walking on that concrete with.
That's on Febreze, just in case.
Exactly.
Febreze some socks.
And like, you know, another thing is Lysol has always killed COVID. Why now is it being publicized in the commercials?
Like, well, Sean, you gotta wait for a Monday night at 8 p.m. because that's the discussion.
Yeah,
Come back.
We about to be here another 2 hours.
Right.
We talk about that.
Yeah, Sean, we are gonna talk about COVID vaccine this Monday at 8 p.m. So check us right here on Black News Undisputed this Monday at 8 p.m. All right. I don't want to cut it short, but we've been on here for 3 hours, guys. 3 hours of great conversation. We started talking about love. We talked about love. We talked about issues with love relationships, and then we got into some other stuff. But hey, this is our platform. We can do what we want to do. We ain't got no restrictions.
Oh, dang, I missed the love topic, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch the replay.
That's what we was.
Woo! All of that.
Look,
please,
Andre, just so you know, we are your great debaters. We will sit back and forth and go back and forth with each other. And
I love it.
Like, girl, we had such a good conversation.
I love it. I love it. I love it. There were some people that came on, they left, and they came back. So hey, this is good. We can have a talk. This is just like us in the house, just chilling, talking, and we're just doing it live. And then you got other people from around the world that are watching with us. So I'm really grateful. Yes, really grateful for everybody.
Everyone in the comments.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching us tonight on Black News Undisputed. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the background music. Give a little chill vibe, you know.
Stay in the comments so we can come back.
Show love.
Yes.
Show love. more of us.
Yes, please share this video with your friends and family. Share. Next time, give us some more hearts. All right, give us some more hearts. We only got 8
I
hearts.
won't be back. Nobody loved what I said.
We need 800 hearts. We need 800. 310 million.
Yes, come on, guys.
We got that WAP on this live. Black Undisputed. Okay.
So I want to give a special thank you to our host for tonight, Lydia Banks. Thank you so much. I want to thank Christina Champagne. Thank you so much.
Champagne Factory.
Kenya Ortega.
Kenya NUA, baby.
The best makeup artist in the world. The best makeup artist. If you, man, y'all better check her out. Y'all don't know. I don't know.
Don't play.
Yeah, I don't know. I better look at Lydia's face and look at Christina's face. That's all Kenya right there.
Christina face. Christina
right here.
That's the Champagne Factory right there.
All right now.
2 MUAs. Duo. Yes. Got the duo today. Champagne Factory, Kenya Makeup Beauty.
All right. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you so much, William. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate you. Been seeing you in the comments on other shows, so it's good to have you on.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
Get
Everybody
into it.
And Bryant, man, thank you so much for always being a part, man. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, y'all don't like me.
Nice conversation. I enjoyed it.
Yes. All right, guys. So this was we had one episode of Keeping It 100. The first one was with myself and Erica Soulfly, and now we have this panel. We will come back here again with another episode. We have some show. This week we'll have some more shows, and then the week after next, going after Christmas, we're gonna take a little break. All right, and then we will be back in full force. Starting in January with Black News Undisputed. We will be broadcasting 7 days a week. All right. Stay tuned for all the great content. All right, guys, and we will see you on the next episode of Keeping It 100. Not sure if we're gonna do it this next Saturday. We'll see, but we'll have a great topic and we'll post it in on Facebook to let you guys know, to give you a reminder. All right, guys. So
yes, and please come Monday night if you want more conversation and comments. We will be talking about the vaccine and just other interesting topics. I think that, as a community, we need to be aware of. So I think it'd be interesting, and I would love to hear the people comments on this talk as well. So tune in again Monday night, 8 p.m.